Wow. No. Not what I wanted to do. Well, let's do that then. There we go. Oh man. That's what it do. How y'all doing, man? Happy what's the day? Tuesday? Monday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah. Happy Monday, y'all. Y'all know I don't be knowing what day of the fucking week it is. You said that lie was tragic. I thought it was entertaining. What up, y'all? Shout out to the moms, man. Good morning. We gonna see what they do. Does my son need me? Oh, look at him. They always think they got me. Oh, you got me. Oh, you got me. No followers, no following. How do you know how weird that is to create a page just so you can stalk me? That has to be the weirdest thing I could imagine. That has to be. Isn't that weird, Jackson? Need me to help you? Stop. What is this? It's a gecko? How do we do this? Let's see. I don't know how to do this, baby. Is that it? Oh, okay. So it goes like that. I'm guessing. Since that's the tail. Here you go, my baby. What do you say? Thank you. You're welcome. Love you. Oh man. Hey, what up, Rick? What's good with you, man? We just getting started, man. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you. We just getting started, man. It's early. I just walked in this mug. We gonna see what it do. Appreciate y'all for liking the live and all that stuff, man. Everybody on YouTube, like it up. I know y'all can't really share it, but yeah, let's get into it, man. You too, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna keep it up. We gonna keep it up. Shout out to my boy Rick, man. Y'all go follow that man. Here's the thing, man. Let me tell you something real quick. I know this gonna make him crash out. I don't even be wanting to crash. I don't really be wanting y'all to crash out. I swear to God, I don't. That's not what I be intending. But what I be having these conversations with the fellas. But okay, I be having these conversations with the boys. And the shit that y'all be saying be blowing my fucking mind. It be blowing my mind. Like I really don't be understanding. Now, let me say that I think that boys could use a happy, healthy, healed man in the home. Absolutely. You guys know my stance on this. If you are happy and healthy and you are participating as a man and as a father and you are showing up in the home, absolutely. Show up for that baby. But Quessy said this is the wildest one ever. I don't think this is the wildest one. You might have missed a few. I didn't. This is mild. You think this is wild? You think this is wild? This is not wild. This is so normal. Quessy said this the wildest one yet. That's crazy. This shit light. This Monday. I'm just we had to. You think this is wild, brother? You done been in enough of my lives. You know this ain't wild.
I need to learn a different language to come up with the right word for this, because wild ain't even it.
Why? How is this wild?
Because let's write this down. Boys need their mothers, but indicating contrary, not their fathers. Boys, meaning they're developing, turning into men. Need, meaning what is it? A requirement. There's only but so much you can get to turn into a man.
A person.
A man.
See, that's the disconnect. Because you think we're turning into men, but that's not what we're supposed to be turning into. We're supposed to be turning into fully formed human beings, man or woman.
I mean, you're going to do that regardless of who raised you. You don't want anybody.
That's not true. That's not true.
So you won't turn, if left alone to your own devices, you won't just by nature turn into a fully grown human being.
No, you won't. I'm talking about emotionally fully grown. I'm not talking about like age or whatever. I'm saying it's easy to be a man. That's easy. You don't need to learn anything to be a man. To be a fully functioning human being, you need to learn a lot. You need to learn a lot, definitely.
Rewind. It's not easy to. It's not. Okay, hold on. There's a lot to unpack with what you saying, bro. I ain't even gonna hold. So let's rewind. So I agree with you if you're saying that in order to turn into a morally responsible and emotionally responsible human being, it doesn't matter if that's a man or a woman. I agree with you there. Morality and just decent human decency, that does not come from a gender. So if you're saying that, I would have to concede to that. That's 100% facts.
Yeah.
But in order to turn into a man, which is what I'm saying, which is what I was under the impression the prophet is saying. If you're saying that's not what it's saying, then I'm incorrect.
Which means what though? And what does it mean to turn into a man? Like, so let's unpack that. What are we talking about? Because when men say to turn into a man, to me, what it always boils down to is the performance of manhood. Right?
The performance of man, right?
Yeah. So, and the performance of manhood is misogyny. So why would I need?
We take a step back now. I was with you. What do you mean? Being a man is misogyny? Am I hearing that wrong?
No. Okay. What does it mean to be a man? You name it. And by the way, understand that what I'm asking is what do most men actually turn into? Not what we should be.
Okay.
What do most men actually turn into?
Yeah.
What types of people do we turn into?
Okay, but I don't think the type of people that they turn into does not by default make them a man. Just because you are a fully grown adult male does not mean you're a man. You still have to act in accordance with what a man is. And
I agree. And how do you act like, quote unquote, act like a man? Like, meaning, how do you act like most other men act? Because you can't make it. This is what I'm trying to ask you to do.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
No, we can't. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do, Quessy. Do not think of, because what men like to do is they like to make up fucking fan fiction about manhood and act like manhood is this awesome thing. And when you grow up as a male, right? When you are you get out of adolescence, you grow out of, you're past puberty, you're like 16, 17 years old, right? Or whatever it is. Now you're a man, right? Okay, cool. They like to act like the attributes, the things that make up or constitute manhood are these virtuous things, like it's a protector or provider and all that bullshit. I'm not, brother. Don't do that. Really think about what most men grow up to be, what most men grow up to do. That's what I want to know. And if you could tell me that those are good things, like, yep, most men grow up to be decent, well-rounded, fully developed human beings, then fine. But if the answer is no, then why the fuck do my sons need to grow up to be men and grow up to perform manhood? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, but this is what disconnecting what we're saying is. You're saying that what men are becoming, or what men have become, or how they perform in society is we should look at that as the new standard of manhood. Like, this is what a man is, or through your lens, this is what it means to be a man. All of this terrible, degenerate stuff that's going on in society, this is what it means to be a man. So why would I want my son to grow into that? What I'm saying is, I agree with you that all this stuff is by and large happening in the male community. I agree with you. What I'm saying is that still, because it's so oversaturated in the male community, it still does not make it what a man is. All that means is that a large portion of the male community has derailed itself, and they're off track from what a man is supposed to be.
Or, like I've been saying, or because you can't say, well, that's the new man. Men are whatever we are right now. That's what men are. Men are whatever they are currently. I don't care what men were supposed to be 5,000 years ago. I'm saying today, in 2024, right? What I do, right? Listen to what I'm telling you. What I do, right? Like my perspective on life, my perspective on politics, you know, my the way that I identify myself and all of that stuff is constantly under attack by men, right? Specifically men. And what do I do? What do I believe in? I believe in the equality and equity of all people on earth, right? All groups of people, Black people, white people, Americans, Germans, Ghanaians, like all people deserve the same rights, deserve the same access to food, deserve the same, like that's what I believe in, right? Because we are human beings, I think that we all deserve the same shit. All of us do. Like, not literally to every man. Don't get me wrong. If you, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all gonna try to be like, so you think, like, I'm not saying it literally. I'm saying all groups of people, right? That is ultimately what I believe. I don't believe in gender roles. I don't believe in gender. I don't believe that women are made to do this and men are made to do that. And conveniently, those things are, men are made to be on top of women and women are supposed to be subservient to men. I don't believe in any of that type of shit, right? That is ultimately what I believe in. That is my message. Overarchingly, I don't care how you think you are interpreting it or whatever. That is literally what I believe in. Like since for a long time, since even before I got on this shit, I believed in that, right? But I am constantly under attack by the cult of man, by the patriarchy, by men, writ large. Like the vast majority of men get triggered by the things that I say. They fight against them ardently, even when I just am challenging men to be better people, right? I'm like, hey man, I'm getting challenged every day to be a better person. I think you should get challenged too, right? So here's a challenge for you, right? Oh no, that's fucking like same thing. You get triggered. Oh, that's unbelievable, and and all that type of shit. And all I'm asking men to do is to be better people. Ultimately, that's all I'm asking men to do, right? And men are literally, I've been physically threatened, like, to fight, which I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of this shit, but I've been physically threatened to fight, and my life has been threatened. Just to name, like, that's the most extreme shit. But every day I get disagreed with. Every day I get called a dumbass. Every day I get called a panderer. Every day I get called a grifter. And for what? For asking you to be a better person? So when you sit,
I don't think that's exactly what's being asked right now. Right now, it's basically saying we don't need you. It's not really any requests being made.
But we don't, because men are you're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying most men, all they want to do is protect the patriarchy. That's all they want to do. All men want to do is protect the patriarchy. That's it. That's their number one claim to fame. That is how men that is what makes a man in our society, is protect the patriarchy. If you don't protect the patriarchy, if you go against it, right? I can think of it. I'm not even get political. If you show up as a man and you wear fucking certain types of clothes, if you have a dangly earring, if you have a certain haircut, if you talk a certain way with a certain cadence or whatever, men will reject you on that alone. Just on that alone. Oh, damn, you like pink? Nigga could just wear pink. And men are like, ugh. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I do agree with that. Don't get me wrong, because I just bought a pair of pants with pink on them, and all my homies like, yo, what the hell are you doing? But it's like, I don't really care about that type of stuff.
But how many, but you're that's, you see what I'm saying though? That
no, I see that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, and you know that's most men, right? Like, you know that's not just your homie group. That's my friend.
I feel like that's an overwhelming. Yeah, this is where we're not agreeing. Like, I mean, this is where we're not disagreeing. There's an overwhelming majority of men that are the men that you're describing. We're not disagreeing there.
Then that's manhood. That's where you and me disagree, because if you, that's manhood then.
No, because all right, let me put it like this: what Christianity has become today, like right now, where you have people going to church and doing all this stuff, but they're still going out cursing Jesus' name and doing all this stuff that was never done in Christianity hundreds of years ago. That is not Christianity. Just because it's normal now, there's still a path to get back onto.
Sir, have you ever heard of the Crusades?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So stop saying, I know, but don't bring in religion, because I'm not religious, and most men aren't either. I don't care how they identify. Most men don't.
I'm not either. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. Like, so don't. Why you bringing up Christianity then? That's crazy. Don't bring up Christianity.
I don't have to be part of that group to bring it up as an analogy. I don't have to be a part.
Oh, you were comparing Christianity to manhood.
Yeah, I was comparing like the way Christianity was, I guess it's not a good comparison because, like you said, with the Crusades and all that. So it's honestly not a good comparison, but it's just like just because something has become derailed does not mean that what it was is not the standard of what it is. It just means it's derailed. I
think you think that about manhood. That's what I've been trying to tell you. You think that manhood was created with this virtuous idea, like they were like, we want men to be good people, and we want men. That's not where it came from, family. From its inception, it was always used as a tool to control. From its inception, as soon as they divided us up by our race, by our gender, but as soon as they did that, they did that to disenfranchise us. That was at its core.
Individual. Now, this is where it gets really, really hazy, because those were like when you're talking about like who created race and all this divisive things. Now, like I said, this is where it gets dicey, because these are individual people you're talking about. But because they belong to the population of man, we attribute it to that is man's design. We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that if it wasn't.
Nope, that's not what I believe. See, don't make that assumption, because that's not what I believe. What I believe is, you're right. A small group of men created it, but the vast majority of men executed the plan and uphold the patriarchy. See what I'm saying? Like, I would be, if a small group of men invented something, and like if a small group of men invented the atom bomb, right? And only a small group of men dropped it, and then nobody else was like, yay, like no other group of men was like cheering for it and all of that stuff, then I would be like, those people are terrible, and I would be able to isolate them, right? If a small group of men invented, chattel slavery, and they tried to do chattel slavery, but then everybody, the majority of the other men pushed back against those men, then we could say those people are fucked up. But as soon as the majority of the men in that time, in that whatever, in that group or whatever, didn't do anything about it, you got to attribute it to men now. Now that's a male problem, right? That's what I'm saying. Every idea starts small. Every idea starts with one man, one woman. Every idea does, right? That's irrelevant to the conversation. Is it who upholds it, who protects it, who perpetuates it? Because at any point in time, if all the men or most of the men or whatever today was just like, yeah, I'm not participating in the patriarchy anymore, the patriarchy would be over.
And what does it look like to not participate in 2024? What does it look like to not participate in the patriarchy? What are men doing to actively participate in the patriarchy?
I mean, it's levels to it, but like interpersonally, they abuse women in their homes. They're neglectful to their children. They neglect their women. They neglect the needs of their community. Due to lack of empathy, so on and so forth.
It sounds like a bad person. It doesn't sound like a patriarchal system. It just sounds like a terrible person.
That's too reductive. But yeah, so the reason why they are terrible is because of misogyny. That's what I'm saying. Because of the indoctrination. That's what's making them terrible. But I agree, they are terrible people, but they've been indoctrinated to be terrible. When you talk about politically, obviously, laws, policies, that get enacted, that men vote on, that men support, largely that men support. You talk about economically, you want to talk about locking women out, locking feminine presenting people out of certain positions, so on and so forth. Like you just keep going down the line, right? Like there's many examples of this. There's many examples of this. Denying.
I don't think that's necessarily true though, because women are graduating in our they're represented in our educational systems way more than men are.
That's in spite. That's in spite of the patriarchy. That's not because of. That doesn't mean that the patriarchy doesn't exist. That's in spite of that.
But why if the patriarchy does exist and it is a system that is specifically designed to oppress women, why would they allow?
It's not specifically. It's not specifically designed to oppress women. The patriarchy oppresses all men, all women. Everybody's oppressed in the patriarchy.
Well, if it's designed for oppression, then why are others allowed to prosper at all? If this is the design of the system,
do you not understand? So you just don't understand how systems of oppression work, then, right? It's a hierarchy. So some people are going to benefit more than others. It doesn't mean that overall everybody benefit, or it doesn't mean overall men benefit, because men don't benefit from the patriarchy overall.
And where, just run it by me again, and where there is oppression occurring, because again, it seems like we're on a hazy line of people who are making terrible decisions towards other humans, and a system that is designed for you to treat this person that way.
I'm gonna now, since you're a black man, I'm going to switch it. Now let's talk about racism. Racism isn't really a thing. It's just white people, individual white people making bad decisions. That's all it is. It's not a real system of oppression. It's just, it's just some bad apples out there, man. Police, just some bad apples out there. It's not systemic. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a history of police brutalizing black people in this country. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a system. I mean, there's not a lot of evidence there, but it really is just coming down to a bunch of individualized bad apples making bad decisions. That's what it is, right?
So we can't do that because there is a paper trail for that. There is a paper trail of proven rape. Like we can prove this on paper. We have laws that we can recite that are
exactly same thing. Same thing for the patriarchy. Yeah, there are laws. There's women have been excluded from stuff. In 1993. Up until 1993, men could grape their women. It was legal to physically assault your woman in the 50s. It was legal.
No, I'm not disagreeing that women have never been. I'm not saying that women have never been oppressed. I'm talking about 2024.
Even right now, yeah, they just overturned Roe v. Wade, which got rid of their right to bodily autonomy, reproductive rights.
Pub, don't do that. Don't do that, Pub. You know that's not what it did.
That is what it did.
What it did is it gave the decision back to the states.
That is a racist argument. Okay, now let's go back with race. That's not what hey man, the South just wanted slavery to be a states' rights issue. They just wanted it to, it was a states' rights problem, right? Slavery was a states' rights issue. It wasn't a federal problem. It was a states' rights problem, right? We should have allowed slavery to persist as long as Mississippi, Louisiana, like as long as those states said it was okay, we should have just let it keep going, because this is a state's issue. It's not a federal issue. It's not a human rights issue. It's a state's issue, right? See what I'm saying? Like whatever you could say about women, I could draw the parallel to race. So don't do like.
I can also draw the parallel to that law. You're talking about Roe v. Wade being overturned. I could also draw a parallel to the new law where they just passed that it is mandatory for insurances to pay for IVR treatments or IVF treatments.
So
for women, meaning that if you aren't able to get pregnant, it is mandatory for insurance companies to conduct that surgery. So now we have two ends of the coin. The coin where
it's not. They want the women to have babies, my nigga. Are you not? You can't figure. So think about it. Thank you for proving my point. So they want to make it as easy as it possibly can be for women to have babies. Even so much so to the point that they're forcing women to have babies. Whether the woman wants to have it or not, whether she's healthy enough to have it or not, they're forcing women to have babies on one end, and then on the other end, they're making it easier for women to get to have babies. Right on the other end, like you were saying, they made it. They said, hey, insurance companies, if a woman wants to have a baby, you gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to allow her to have that, but you got to make it easy for her. But if she wants to get rid of it, You got to make it hard for her, and you're not understanding the connection. You're not seeing how those things are correlated.
Well, what I'm seeing is that it is not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like a decision that they're looking at what people want. They're like, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do what we want. These are things that overwhelmingly, I'm not going to say overwhelmingly, but equal parts.
What percentage of Americans want ABs to be legalized?
I don't know the exact number. I'm
just in general. Do you think most Americans want ABs to be legalized?
Want ABs to be legalized?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. No.
You don't think so? Okay. They do, but I'll tell you the percentage. They do. So yeah, this is crazy.
And what portion of Americans?
It doesn't matter. Hold on.
Actually politically involved, because you can.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We know what ABs are. ABs aren't political. ABs are medical procedures. So people who know what ABs are, they want an AB. It's not political. It has nothing to do with politics. Do you?
So let me offer this, Bob, because there's also, I'm not sure if you're on this end of the internet where there's a bunch of doctors talking about their moral rights and their moral quarries with AB, and the fact that a lot of them don't even want to do it. So why should their right to not want to conduct this procedure trump?
Most doctors are perfectly okay doing ABs, brother. I don't listen to random TikTok doctors talk about not wanting to do it. Most doctors are perfectly okay doing, like I would say 99% of them, especially if they took the Hippocratic Oath, because it is a medical fucking procedure, is a life-saving procedure. Like, what are you talking about? It's crazy.
An AB is not life-saving. It's less than 1% of ABs are due to life of the mother.
What?
Less than 1%. It's not life-saving.
That's not true. 60. Hold on. Conduct nearly those practices. So 62% of U.S. adults said the practice should be legal in all or most cases. 62% of Americans think that. Just FYI. So the majority of Americans, that's Pew. You can look it up. That's on Pew. The majority of Americans are perfectly okay. They want ABs to be legalized. Are we done with that argument now? Now you don't have to make that other argument up. I don't even know. Like, why would you not think that? Like, why would you not think that would be the case? The overwhelming amount of women want ABs to be legalized, and then all it would take is for like a few men, like, you know. I think it should be 100%, but fuck it, let's go crazy. I think it should be 90%. It should be a very small group of people that don't want ABs.
I mean, I just think that, like I said, unless it's life of the mother, great, or
yeah,
or I'm not sure if we can say that. Mm-hmm. I don't. Just because you made a poor decision, I don't think that issue.
So you should compound the poor decision by being forced to give birth and bring a baby into a world when you don't have the resources to take care of the child. That's smart, huh? That's the logical. That's that man in you. That's that logical male thinking, huh? That's so smart.
I mean, it's gotta be because we make decisions like that compound all the time. It's life. You make bad decisions.
How does that make it right? That doesn't negate anything that I said.
Well, because life isn't about what's right or wrong. Life just happens. Life just is what it is.
Also, that's also illogical. But so once again, you're saying there's a fire. We should pour gasoline on it. That's how we handle that fire. That's literally what you're saying.
I'm saying you made a decision that you can predict with 100% certainty the outcome of that action. You can do things to prevent that outcome as much as you want, yes. But you conduct an action that you know 100% certain what the outcome is, and then you get surprised that even though I try to prevent the outcome, the definite outcome happens.
What are you talking about?
You should be held responsible for it. Meaning that if you
are you talking about having smacks? What are you talking about?
Yes.
You're saying that 100% of the time you have a baby when you have smacks?
If you're okay, let me put it like this: over 90% of the time, like I said, you could do things to prevent.
Over 90% of the time? What? What are you talking about?
If you're having smacks, we know what the outcome is. There could be things to defer that. Maybe you're not fertile. Maybe you're not. There are outliers and there are exceptions, but we know what.
Naturally, it doesn't make sense. A woman can't even get pregnant. There are far less days in a month that a woman can actually get pregnant. then there are days in the month when she can get pregnant. What are you talking about?
So now we're going to be disingenuous and act like we don't know what the main outcome of, what the main purpose of, what the main outcome of SMEX is.
The main outcome of SMEX is to get a nut for the man, apparently, because women don't get to come. So it's for the man to get a nut.
Don't do that, bro. You know what biologically we have SMEX for one reason.
Who told you that?
Not for pleasure.
Bro, wait. Who told you this? Where are you getting this from?
Science.
This is not scientific, brother.
So show me one scientist that would disagree the purpose of sexual activity.
All of them. Biologically speaking, all of them would have to disagree. Because biologically speaking, that wouldn't be right. What the fuck are you talking about?
So what is the purpose of us being, even having the function of having SMEX? Why is that? Why did nature give us that ability? For fun, so we can enjoy ourselves while we're here on Earth?
A part of it, yeah. And to have a baby.
The main part. Now we're being genuine. The second one, you're playing around with the first one. Now we're being genuine.
I'm not. I'm just not. You do know that there are animals who have SMEX for fun too, right?
There is such a handful of animals that have that SMEX.
But they do. It don't matter. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just making the point that humans definitely have SMEX for fun biologically. Yes.
No, biologically it feels good because it is an incentive to do it because there's a purpose behind it.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? If nature says that every time you have SMEX, it's about getting pregnant, then A, why do we want to have SMEX so often? And B, why is a woman not capable of getting pregnant all the time, every single time you have SMEX? She can't get pregnant at certain parts. There's a window where women can get pregnant. It's not, the window ain't open all the fucking time. Sometimes open, sometimes it's not. If nature was like, every time you have SMEX, that you know what I'm saying? Like we want that woman to be able to get pregnant. The window will be open all the time, brother.
Now, true. You have a very valid point that there is a small window, and because the species have to survive, the chance of you catching that window is paramount. So how do you catch that window?
Super easy.
How do you catch that window? You either know about it, but how do you know? Before these times, before we had all this technology to know,
men knew way before these times when men have been forcing their women to have children for a millennia. They know.
But what I'm saying is, how do you know before technology? How do you know when is her right time to have before all this technology?
You don't need technology. Women, brother, are you fucking serious? You don't know shit about me.
When I say technology,
I said technology. Are you fucking serious?
Listen, I'm talking about before we understood biology, before we even knew why they were bleeding every month, why these things were happening.
Bruh.
The best chance you have at getting her pregnant was just
that has been like 1,000 years that we've known this. Like, what are you talking about? This shit is crazy.
Let me get my point, bub. What I'm saying is, because you asked me a question. You said, you asked me why would what I said make sense if she had such a small window? Like, why would that? And but the reason for that is because we have an incentive to have sex a lot because it feels good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for no reason. But biology and Mother Nature doesn't just give you things for the hell of it. It feels good because it is an incentive to keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, by default, you're going to catch that window.
And this ultimately, and I'm going to let Rick go after this. This ultimately brings me to my point about how men in general are terrible. Just everything you're saying is like exactly why. Like, it might be shady. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just being honest. You should not be around. You should not be raising kids. Like the shit you're saying right now is so dangerous. I don't even think you know it. But the thing you're saying, it is so dangerous. It's so. Hold on, brother. The things you are saying right now is so dangerous to women that I don't rationally speaking. Why would I ever here's what I'm saying. I've heard what you're saying right now, right? And then let's say we go our separate ways or whatever. And then, my son gets into like a mentorship program or whatever the fucking case may be, which he would never need that because I'm his mentor, but and his mom is a mentor. But let's say that was the case. Cool. We show up to the Boys and Girls Club and you're his fucking mentor. Absolutely not, Kwesi. Absolutely. I do not want Kwesi anywhere near my son. Nowhere near my son. I don't want you teaching my son that women, I mean, it's biologically wrong, but it's not even that. Like, if it was like funny, I would just be like, that's funny. Like, you just don't know what you're talking about. But your ideas are literally, they are the ideas that lead to real world violence against women, rapes against women, abuses of women. Like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You reach for the stars with that one.
I'm reaching
for the stars, brother.
Wow. Go ahead, Rick. Crazy. Teresa said, I am a scientist and I disagree. It's therapeutic. Jocelyn said, bonobo monkeys use smeks to solve arguments / disputes just for the fun of it and to pull rank. Just like we do. Stop. Just say you're bad at it and and let it go. All right, go ahead, Rick.
My question was about the first prompt. Are you saying boys need their mothers just for like breastfeeding and stuff like that, or to be birthed?
No, I'm saying, listen to the conversation I'm having with Kwesi, right? I'm saying that somebody got to raise the baby, right? Somebody got to raise the baby. It needs a parent, right? And preferably one of, if not both of the biological parents, right? Okay, cool. Listening to men like Kwesi is exactly what I'm saying when I say that they don't need their fathers. Like, why would you need to be around a man that is going to teach you how to hate women? Why would you need that? Like, what child needs that? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that. But you need a parent, though. You need somebody there. So you need the mom. The mom by default. Boom, she wins. It's not even so much.
No. Keep Kwesi out of it. Okay. So you're just saying by default it should be the mom. There's no argument that whoever's the better parent should get that right?
That's not what I'm saying. Most of the time, see, this would be, y'all do the same trickery. And it's so funny because you being in my lives enough to know that that's never my position. If you thought about it for 2 seconds, you would know that I would never argue that point because that's a dumbass point, right? Of course, there are some instances when the father is better than the mother. Yes, exactly.
That's most instances, actually.
Yeah, see? And that's the lie. Because if that's the case, then why don't men that's a lie. Look, I'll ask you a question. No. You don't know about that. Hold on, y'all. Let me ask you a question. Who is more nurturing? Mothers or fathers?
Fathers. Women abuse the children most of the time.
Women abuse the children most of the time. Okay.
Most of the time, yes.
Hold on, man.
Hold on. Can I ask him a question? Because
No. Why y'all? Hold on. Who brought people up? I'm not understanding. How did people? I only invited Kwesi up here, but I'm cool with Rick being up here. Go ahead, Dreadful. I'm trying to figure out. Y'all got no.
Sorry,
you good?
I just wanted to ask because I knew where he was going with this. And essentially, what he's going to say is, women abuse more children. Now, if we look at statistics and data, right? The reason you'll see more abuse, if you are seeing more abuse cases with women, it's because men are leaving the household and abandoning their child and leaving the mother to raise the child. So the only possible person who can physically harm a child is the person that is physically there, right? So if you want to talk about abuse cases, you have to actually put that into context.
So why is that not the case?
Hold on. You were also going to ask about single father households doing better. That is not necessarily true. Now we can talk about the gender wage gap and why the pay, right? Financially, they do better, but
no, I'm talking about the outcome of the children. Not.
I know. Hold on.
I literally wrote a whole research paper, a 20-page research paper on this. That is not true. That is factually not true. Yeah. They only do better financially, and that's because of the wage gap. Other than that, they fare the same.
There's no wage gap.
That's another question. So you don't believe in oppression. That's what I'm saying. You only believe in racism because you are a black man. But is there a wage gap between black people and white people?
Let me ask you this.
No. Please answer that question. Is there a wage gap between black people and white people?
There is a wage gap between black people and white people, yes.
Okay.
There's a wealth gap. I'm not gonna say wage. There is a wealth
There's
gap.
both.
There's not a wage gap.
There's both.
No, there's only a wealth gap between black people.
Okay, so there is no wage gap. So white people don't get paid more for doing the same jobs that black people do.
Absolutely. Show me one instance of that. Absolutely not. No, there is no person there. If you are a customer service representative at T-Mobile.
So you're just going to make up random scenarios and say, well, in this particular field, since they are paid the same, that must mean that everybody is paid the same. That's what you're going to say? Because that's not how it works.
There is no, if you have this job title, this is your job title, and it matches verbatim this other person's job title. And also, if you take it, because this is what y'all don't like to take in consideration when you're mentioning the pay gap. If we also have the same experience, we also have the same years in the position. We also have the
So why are black men so broke?
Oh, that is a very long, brother. You know this.
I don't, because you just said there's no way, there's no oppression according to you.
You know about Jim Crow. You know about, or you know this.
I know about Jim. I know. That's what I'm talking about. So why are black men so broke? If based on your logic, what is our excuse? We just got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, right?
I mean, that's what we're doing, and we're close.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We are regressing. You're not looking at the numbers. Black men are worse. We're going backwards right now. Stop lying. Men, by the way, all men are. White men, every group of men are, but yeah, black men especially. Don't get up here lying, please. Black men are regressing.
We have the most black billionaires that have ever existed.
We have the most people. What are you talking? We have the most people, and money is different than it was. It was harder to be a billionaire in 1950 because the dollar was worth more. So
you're saying it's easier to be a billionaire now.
It's not. It's hard. That's what I'm saying. You're not understanding. Billionaire means nothing, first and foremost. That is an extreme outlier. That's a weird way of judging this, saying there are more black billionaires right now. There are more people in general. There's more money in circulation, right, than there was 60, 70, 80 years ago, right? So it's easier. You're right. It's easier when you said that. I meant it based on the numbers part of it, right? Like because of the how money, what's it called? What the dollar is worth, right? So like I said, back in the day, like, you know, when they do those, when they do the adjusting for whatever, like inflation, yeah. When they do the adjusting for inflation, they'll say, it'll be like in 1950, it cost $3 to, go to the movies for your whole family. Just for adjust for inflation. Today, that would be $19.38, right? That's what I'm saying. So back in the day, if you were worth 100 million, that is like you being a billionaire now. That's what I'm saying. The money is just different now. So saying that means nothing. It's pointless on many levels, because I don't judge black people as a group based on how many fucking black billionaires there are. That's stupid as shit. That doesn't even make sense. Why would I care? What does a billionaire have to do with you? You ain't gonna never touch a million, let alone a billion. What you worried about what the billionaires is doing? Like, what are we talking about? I'm talking about black men not being educated. I'm talking about black men having terrible health outcomes, dying at 66, our life expectancy being low as fuck. I'm talking about black mental health. I'm talking about violence. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. Like, what are you talking about? Black men relying on black women to save them. That's why black women, no other community do the women out earn the men in the household. In no other community, but in the black community, that's the case. Like, this shit is crazy. Black man is broke, and you up here talking about it ain't no wage gap between black. Then explain us then.
There is no wage gap. There's a wealth gap. You will never hold the same position as someone and you'll be paid differently. That's not true. You know that's
literally true. I can literally, if you want proof, I can literally pull up data that
you can pull up someone with
hold on 1 second. That literally shows, that takes into account same hours, same education, same like degrees, all these things, and they still get paid differently. This is
okay. Show. Yeah, I'm not about to do it.
I got it.
Yeah,
it's
you got it.
Not gonna exist. I want all of that information. information in there. I'm talking about experience, resume, degrees, all of that.
You know what's crazy that you don't, that also, it's so funny because it's not just about you making less money, even though that's true too, but it's also like, you just won't get the jobs that they get. Yeah, you could, like, my boy is in corporate. He works for a Fortune 50 company, and he's middle in the company or whatever. He's been in there for a long time. He's pretty high up. In this company, to be in the middle is, that shit is crazy. But he's constantly talking about how all the like essential workers, quote unquote, are like black and brown people. But the higher up you go, there's no black representation. He's like the only, like, he goes into a room and he's the only black person in the room, male or female, doesn't matter, right? So all the positions of power that make the, that get paid fucking $180, $190, $300,000, like where the people in the company, they buy homes in fucking Malibu and they buy homes in Santa Monica and they can live. It's regular, like, Chris Rock told this joke a long time ago. He said that in his neighborhood, he was like, the black neighbors are like me, Mary J. Blige, and he named like some other like rich, black like athlete or some shit like that. And he was like, you know who my neighbor is? And then they was like, no, and he said he was a dentist. Like, it's just not the same. Like these are like to live next to a wealthy black person. All white people got to do is go to work.
But see, look, this is my thing. When you start speaking facts, I'll have no problem disagreeing with you. I mean, agreeing with you. It's when you say that borderline, just repeating what you heard other people say.
That's you. But that's you though, sir. That's you projecting. That's not me. I've read this for myself. That is you literally. You are literally saying stuff that racist white people say about the pay gap. Literally you. Everything you said thus far, you've gotten it from white right-wing extremists. Everything you said. Okay, I'm just telling you that phrase in and of itself comes from a right-wing think tank. Like,
no, it comes from just a person thinking.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. There is a wealth gap. What you just explained is a wealth gap, and that's exactly what I've been saying.
It's both. It's not either or. It's both. But everything you're saying, like, I did a video on this a long time ago. This lady like read verbatim like the Triple K, their initiative. And it literally reads like everything you're saying right now. Like, it reads just like, I swear to God, I just don't want to go back in my videos far enough, but like, I have the video, like, it's on my page. Like, I did a video of it. It is fucking crazy. Like, everything you are saying comes straight from right-wing extremists. Because you have to be extreme to not believe or understand that there is a wage gap. To not believe and understand that there is racism, systemic racism, and systemic oppressions of women and children, and so on and so forth. You have to be an extremist to deny that.
Because you just have to be a thinker. Because I find it so funny that people that claim there's a wage gap cannot demonstrate this ever, anywhere. They cannot demonstrate that.
Okay, Kwesi, this is what I want you to do. I will give you $100 right now if you will cite the source that led you to this conclusion.
This is the thing. This is the funny
thing. If you can't do it, just say it's okay. I don't have the information right now, and I'll accept that answer.
Listen to what you just asked me. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it doesn't. You're asking me to prove that something doesn't exist. I'm asking you to prove it does. It's
not on me, sir. That's not how it works. This isn't talking about God. I'm not asking you about God.
You're asking me to prove how I know something doesn't exist. It doesn't.
Yes, because there would have to be data. There would have to be data to prove that it doesn't exist, Kwesi. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What you're trying to argue, this is how I know you're not a thinker. What you're trying to argue is if I were to say God is real, right? And I'm asking you, or you're saying God is real, and I'm asking you to prove it. That's not what's going on. The thing that I'm describing is literally just a fucking these are numbers that you can track. It's not the same argument. So you're saying it doesn't exist. Cool. What information? Where did you get that from? If you're going to tell me you just thought about it, that's fine. But say that. That's okay.
That information comes from literally everyone who studies this and works in these fields, including
name
HR,
them.
Including HR, who have said
name them. Name one of the people Name one person that has come out with a report, a peer-reviewed report or study, I should say, that can support or substantiate your claim. Name the one person.
Jordan Peterson.
He doesn't have a peer-reviewed study that says that, though.
He doesn't have a peer-reviewed study on the pay gap? Are you crazy?
He doesn't.
He literally does.
No, he
Jordan
doesn't.
Peterson, do you know the name I just said? Jordan Peterson?
Yes, I know. Jordan Peterson does not have a peer-reviewed study on the pay gap. He is not even fucking from America. He's Canadian.
Exactly, and he's done this on Scandinavia as well. Why does he have to be?
Scandinavia is not America. I'm talking about in the United States of America specifically.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. He actually did an interview and spoke on his article.
An interview and an article are not peer-reviewed studies.
Did you hear what I just said? I said
Yes.
He did an interview and spoke on his article. You had to let me finish the sentence, or you're gonna make an ass out of yourself because I said that in the sentence. He did an interview and spoke on his article about how he did a pay gap comparing America and Scandinavia.
Okay, so Jordan Peterson is not a reliable source for this specific conversation.
Now we're gonna play. Now we're gonna play the game. Is your source viable? Like,
Yes, of course. That's why I wanted to know your source. That's why I asked you your source to see if it was viable.
The source wasn't YouTube. It's a national intellect.
All right, right. But but in order for a source to be valuable, like I could have somebody who Jordan Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, has a PhD in like I think like psychology. Right?
Yeah, he's a psychologist.
It has nothing to do. Yeah, it has nothing to do with economics, data, anything of the sort. I could literally find anybody with a PhD.
So why do you keep saying that and just do it?
Hold on, sir. I'm just trying to make a point so you can understand why the source has to be reliable, right? I can find any racist person with a PhD who can say black people don't deserve this, that, and the third because black people aren't human, and they can cite any kind of crap that sounds educational.
Hold on. I found it. I found the article. It's not a study. It's an article.
That's what I said. It's an article.
An article is not a study.
You said find an art.
I said a peer review. See, not listening. There's another reason why men don't have no business being around kids.
God, run this back.
Run it back.
An article or a study? You said both.
A study.
You said
articles, sir. Do you know how article? Never mind. I don't want to explain this to you. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, two things. In this article, it's the headline reads, "The Gender Scandal, Part 1, Scandinavia, Part 2, guess what country?
I don't know, United Kingdom?
Canada, exactly. So it ain't even about the U.S., which I already said. I'm talking about the U.S. specifically because I'm in the fucking United States. I don't know what's going on in Canada, but to be fair, I know it exists in Canada too. But I'm just saying, that's not I literally said,
how can you speak on Canada if your argument is that you don't know what's going on if you don't
live there? I'm okay with not speaking on Canada. I just said I'm sure that there is a pay gap in Canada too, but I'm in America. So I only care about what's going on in America right now. And you said Jordan Peterson spoke about this. And I said Jordan Peterson is fucking Canadian, which I knew. I was like, why would he make an article about the US pay gap and he's Canadian? It didn't make sense. Lo and behold, The Gender Scandal, Part 1, Scandinavia, Part 2, Canada. And it's a fucking article, and it's on his website. For it to be peer reviewed, it would have to be published where? Where would it need to be published for it to be peer reviewed? You don't know. I ain't gonna tell you either. This is not a peer review. This is a fucking article. This is an op-ed, sir. You don't know what you're talking about. You know nothing. You're not a thinker. You're pseudo-intellectual at best.
So what is your source that it exists? If you're such a thinker, why have none of
I'm not a thinker. I'm just not an idiot, and I'm not a liar.
So show me that you know.
It's super easy. All I got to do.
You haven't done that yet. You just
okay.
I'm telling you, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
You're saying it. Finding evidence for something that you think exists.
I asked you to tell me.
Finding evidence for something that
I asked you. Hold on, wait. It exists, sir. This shit ain't even hard to find.
Where are you getting this idea from that it exists?
The fucking Bureau of Labor.
Show me then.
No, how am I gonna show you? We on fucking TikTok. You can go look it up.
You put the same way you put that background up, do it, screenshot.
I'm not nigga. I'm not doing that. I don't ever do that, by the way. I'm not doing that now. That's stupid. You can Google it when you get off, but you can look it up though. And the way you want to look it up is you can just literally Google.
You don't want to
is a gender pay gap real? All you got to do is look up, is a gender pay gap real? Now, here's the thing. The reason why this is hilarious to me is because you have not looked this up, but you were speaking on it. That's the craziest thing.
This up extensively. How would I know?
Liar.
Name one person.
He named Jordan Peterson.
You're still here listening. Why have you not brought a source back? You said
I have the source in front of my face, brother.
Oh, you can post it. He can put it up there if he wants to. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Hold on 1 second. It's on my laptop. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to transfer it, but I got you.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be another 30 minutes. So yeah, I got the source right here.
Sir, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm literally in school for it. Like I've done it. Like I said, I've done a whole 20-page research paper on this. You're
in school for the pay gap.
You are not in the same field as me.
You're in school for the pay gap. That's what you're in school for.
Teresa said financialization made all these billionaires. This is crazy. This is what I be saying, man. We down bad, y'all. Anti-intellectualism is whooping our ass. It got us in a chokehold.
You ain't telling no lies, Fub. I'll tell you that, boy.
It got us in a chokehold. Put this DOI in Google. DOI. Oh, okay, here. I'll do this. It proves it exists. Okay. He don't. Teresa about to get his man. Oh man, hold on. I can't. Why I can't? It won't let me do that. Did you let me know when you got it, Dreadful? I hate that.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, this shit is just it's so boring to do this. It like stops the whole flow. I'm like, why?
It really is.
Like, why do I have to do this?
I asked for what the hell be wrong with you? This is what I be talking about. You asked for a study, but when I asked for a study, that was stopping the flow and shit. Man, get the hell out of here, bro.
No, it's because you clearly don't know what you're talking about. That's why we asked you for some kind of study. Like, just name the study. We can look it up ourselves. We don't got to pull it up on the screen.
So name the study. All right, so then do that for us. Name the study you're talking about.
Oh, no problem. So you can go on the Commonwealth Fund and look up male physicians earn more than women in primary and specialty care.
What's the site?
You can go on commonwealthfund.org, right? And then they will link you to the actual, like when you find the studies, when you find the findings, they will link you to the actual data that they got the studies from. And they took into account that making sure that the people work the same exact hours, have the same degree of education, and all these things that people try to excuse. Oh, women leave early because they got to take it.
They always do that, and I'm like, they already worked they controlled for all of that. They control for like the same age, the same experience, the same, like they do all of that, and then the men still make more money.
Crazy because I just looked at it and it specifically says depending on the type of medicine practiced.
Yes, if you continue to read, right, in all fields, depending on the type of medicine, the money is going to be different. But in all fields, males get paid more. That is what the study finds.
Okay.
You have to read more than 2 sentences.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna keep going. So is Pew Research okay for you, Kwesi?
You said what happened?
Is Pew Research good for you?
What?
PewResearch.org.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you would be familiar with Pew Research. The enduring grip of the gender pay gap. That's the name of the name of it. The gender pay gap, the difference between the earnings of men and women has barely closed in the United States in the past 2 decades. God damn. In 2022, American women typically earned 82 cents for every dollar earned by men. That was about the same as in 2002, when they earned 80 cents to the dollar. The slow pace at which the gender pay gap has narrowed this century contrasts sharply with the progress in the preceding 2 decades. In 1982, women earned just 65 cents to every dollar earned by men. So it jumped up from the 80s through the 90s to the early 2000s, but it's a slow pace because they've been saying we've been in our like recession for the last like 20 fucking years. So it makes sense. This is no single explanation. There is no single explanation for why progress towards narrowing the pay gap has all but stalled in the 21st century. But
that sentence again, there's no single explanation for why. This is the part we like to just graze over.
What do you think you're saying? Wait, first and foremost, let's acknowledge that this article literally states verbatim that the pay gap exists. So are you good? Are you accepting that?
It wants. I can write an article. I can go and get me a PhD and write an article about how whatever I believe in exists.
You can't get a PhD though. You don't have the you don't have the bandwidth to get a PhD.
What are the variables? Look,
so now what do you want? Wait.
Intellectually threatened. They start throwing.
Hold on.
I'm not even gonna hurl it back.
I'm being honest with you, brother. Sir, now I just find it funny that now you want to question it. When Jordan Peterson wrote a fucking op-ed, you didn't question it. Now when I'm reading from now when I'm reading from Pew, now hold on, brother. Now when I'm reading from Pew Research, now all of a sudden you want to know the variables, you want to know you're trying to figure out what's the age of the person who wrote it, what shoe size they wear. Now you got all these goddamn questions, right? So you want to pick apart the truth, but you believe a fucking lie.
No, all I'm hearing you say is reading a person's thoughts and ideas. I want to hear variables. I want to hear facts. All I'm hearing is you reading another person's ideas.
You never wanted to hear facts. Stop that lie. That's my point.
You're not doing anything for me with this article by reading another person's ideas. What are the
another person's ideas is where you got your ideas from, Kwesi.
Okay, cool. Now you can stop pivoting.
God damn.
Where are the variables? Now that we're done pivoting, Pub, I'll let you go on your.
What am I pivoting? How am I pivoting?
Because I'm asking you a question.
What question are you asking me? You want me to hold on, brother? Just so we're clear. This is a fucking like 5-page article. You want me to read this shit right now? I'm not.
That's why. Listen,
I'm not.
Want to throw sources up. That's why
I put the source up. Now you can go read it on your fucking own. That's the point.
I will, but you want to. I didn't tell you to. Yo, bro, you brought it up. I told Buddy to bring up a source. You brought up that source.
I brought up the best source. I brought up the source. What source do you want?
I don't want to read it. So whose fault is that? Don't blame me.
I don't want to read 5 pages while I'm on live, nigga. This ain't popcorn. You read that shit. You asked me for the source. I just get this motherfucker. So you can't read.
He not serious, man.
This motherfucker can't read. That's what it is. You can't read.
For the source. You said I had the better.
Ebooks is real, brother. Go get, brother. Look, hold on. Read the. You could go look it up. I literally, you know what I typed in? Pay gap, wage gap, gender. I think I typed in gender pay gap or something like that. I didn't type in if it's real. I didn't type in if it's fake. Nothing. I just typed in gender pay gap. Pew Research popped up, a bunch of shit debunked and all, but I've read those articles. I've read the articles that tried to debunk it. They didn't. And I read this before. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's good enough. I did. I didn't read Jordan Peterson's article because that nigga Jordan Peterson's a fucking idiot. So why would I read his shit?
How I know you didn't read that? Because your algorithm brought up exactly what it know you wanted to see.
It brought up the debunked articles. See, you're not listening. It brought up the debunked articles too. It brought up both. Now you know how Google works? You so smart.
Yeah, your algorithm brought up exactly what it know it wanted you to see. What it know you wanted to see.
Brother, it don't even matter. That's the funniest thing.
Prophecy. This algorithm shit is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You look up something.
You are projecting. You are projecting.
I'm projecting that.
Yes. Typing in on here. Since you don't want to see this, obviously, you type it in on your phone and let's see what pops up.
I'm gonna do it, but like you said, I can't get back to you on a 5-page article within this time frame.
I'm not asking you to even read it right now. I'm just saying you type in what I typed in and let's see what pops up. Let's see if let's see if the debunking pops up or if the fucking same shit pops up. I bet you the same shit gonna pop up. Erica said, drop Kwesi for not bringing up any sources. Go ahead, Zoe. This shit.
I'm just listening. I guess I should go back in the audience because I was looking at the prompt, but y'all are having a different conversation.
Oh no, I would love to get back to the prompt because Kwesi don't know. Let's get back to the prompt. Yes. Charlene said, I swear these men should sue the education system for fraud. This shit crazy. Teresa said, ask him to define Gini coefficient and hours. That's gonna be hard. Teresa said, NBR, systemic discrimination theory and measurement. She got all the studies. Y'all done woke up. Y'all done woke Teresa up. She about to give y'all all the shit. She said, Teresa said, you read variables. He doesn't know what they are. Oh man, Juniper said, now he's crashing out all emotional. All right, go ahead, Zoe. This shit is wicked work, y'all. Go ahead, Zoe.
I guess I wanted to ask why? I'm assuming that you think that boys don't need their fathers, but they need their mothers. So
they need a parent. Boys need a parent, right? Like we all need a parent, but I'm saying, we need a parent minimum. We need a parent. I'm saying we need parental. You know, we need a parent at least, right? Preferably one of the biological parents, right? Cool.
I agree.
Okay, so out of the two, the parent that they need is the mom, because most men are like Kwesi. Unfortunately, right? I know it sucks. Most men are like you and Kwesi, I would say. Most men are. I'm just hey man, I gotta keep it a bean. Most men are pseudo-intellectual, anti-intellectual, misogynistic. You know what I'm saying? Like most men are, unfortunately.
How did I get the term pseudo-intellectual?
Hey, brother. All right. You know what? I'll reset the clock over on Zoe. You ain't said nothing.
Pseudo-intellectual.
You ain't said it. You ain't said nothing today, pseudo-intellectual so far. So I give you that. I'll say Kwesi though, because he has been saying a lot of pseudo-intellectual shit. There you go.
I don't think most times will say anything pseudo-intellectual, but
I'm not, you cannot think that, but
that's a thing.
I think how do I do think that because of how both men and women are gendered, I do think there are different ways in which they approach can I just say child rearing?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Child rearing in general.
How do men typically approach child rearing?
Typically, so I would say that I don't know if men are socialized to be as nurturing. If I could,
they're not.
I would say that men are kind of. I think they see.
And wait, real quick. And what does nurturing look like?
Nurturing looks like being attentive.
Okay, being present.
I think it looks like
patience.
Yeah, I would say it looks like
empathy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was just thinking of like one. If I had to put one word on it, I would say like attentive. But if you want me to get like a list of words,
well, but there's other things that lead. There's nurturing is a broad thing. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
So, most men aren't. So most, and you say we're not conditioned to be nurturing, which means we're not that attentive. We're not empathetic. We're not. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So why would you want that person around a child? Because that's exactly what children need.
Yeah. So I think that men. Okay, so fathers. I think that men that present as a present role and accept the responsibilities of quote unquote fatherhood, and if they are going to be a single father, I don't know if they are quote unquote like most men.
So let's not talk about single fathers, because single fathers represent a very small demographic of parents.
I thought the conversation was being had in a way where it was like like either the mom or the dad, right? So
it's being had in the way of we're comparing the majority of mothers versus the majority of fathers.
Okay. Okay. So what was the question that you asked again? Now that I see the framing, what was the question? I guess you want me to.
I mean, it's a statement. It's not a question.
I'll keep speaking to that. So I think I still struggle a little bit with that idea, even if I'm comparing most mothers to most fathers. Not saying that mothers aren't important, but I think that if you want to just say mothers are important, I don't know if you have to just dismiss the father's importance also.
How are fathers important? Beyond money, how are fathers important? What is something that is unique to me? Like, for an example, with women, we all can acknowledge they are more nurturing, which means they're more empathetic, means they're more patient, means that, you know what I mean, means they're more attentive. All these are fucking like, you gotta have these to raise kids, right? That is something that we can all agree women are exponentially better than men at, right? Okay, cool. What is something that is good for kids that men are exponentially better than women at?
I would say, man, okay, and you're probably going to disagree with this, but it's fine. But I would say that men are better at protecting. I believe that. I'm so sorry. I think men are better at protecting. And I'm not saying that all men are protectors.
How do y'all have, and here's what I'm saying, there's a pseudo-intellectual part. How do you have the same argument, even if the circumstances are different? If I asked you, how are men supposed to show up for women? You would say protect and provide. When I talk about children, you say protect and provide. Like, sir, don't do that. Because what do you need to protect children from?
I think, because we're talking about roles of because we're talking about roles of like socialization, we have to look at the categories at which both men and women are socialized into. I think it's kind of weird to act like that role isn't something that men aren't socialized into, and then feel a need, or at least a
brother. Who are women? Who are men protecting children from? Is my question.
From anybody?
No, not from anybody. The majority of the time. Hold on. The majority of the time. Hold on.
The majority of the time, it could be other men.
Back it up. Back it up. I'm going to back it up even further than that. Who is most likely? A man and a woman are in the home. Who is most likely to harm the child? A man or a woman?
The woman. If there's a man and the woman present, it's the woman.
So the woman is most likely to abuse the child if the man and the woman are present. That's not what all studies say, Zoe. See, that's that pseudo-intellectualism creeping out. That's not what the studies say. Appreciate you, Almeida.
So let's pause. So you're talking about domestic violence as it relates to the child in the home, right? Who are the most likely or prevalent to abuse the child in the home? It's the woman, but it's because how they're socialized. It's because women.
That's not true.
Time with children. Okay.
Oh, wait. What'd you say? Because women spend more time with children?
More time with children.
Okay. So
even in dual parent households, women are present with children more, excuse me. So it's just
women slightly abuse kids more.
Acting like socialize isn't a word. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Y'all are dumb.
So two things. The rate of abuse it's women's overall. There are more cases of abuse from women. Appreciate you, Bianca. There are more cases of abuse. Overall, there are more cases of abuse. Overall, right? But once you start breaking it down per capita, not even close. Not even close. Men abuse kids way more. Also, men are far more likely to unilaterally abuse a kid, right? So women typically only abuse their kids, right? Men will abuse every kid. They'll abuse any kid. Kids in the neighborhood, their family members. Now, when you talk about abuse, they also, from what I've read, and somebody could correct me on this, they don't include sexual violence, right? So if you throw that in there, it's not even close. Once you throw sexual abuse in there, it's not even close. The number one form of abuse is what? Based on those studies, the number one form of abuse is what?
Oh, they're talking about physical abuse.
No, they're not. No, it's not. The number one form of abuse is neglect.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, neglect.
That's the number one form of abuse is neglect. Because I've been trying to tell y'all.
We were talking about I was talking about domestic violence though. So
no, you weren't. We were talking about abuse.
Brother, I said as it relates to domestic violence. I don't know if you heard me, but I said domestic violence, and that's why.
No, why would you? What? We were talking about the abuse of children, and you said.
No, child abuse is a form of domestic violence.
It's not.
Brother, what is going on?
You don't know what you're talking about. Child abuse is not a form. Listen. There are multiple forms of abuse. So not all child abuse is considered DV. Like I just said, neglect isn't considered DV, brother.
That's not what I'm saying, brother.
But that's what it. That's what it is. Regardless of what you're saying, that's what it is.
Why? It's like you're trying to kind of stop me in my track.
I said child abuse is considered a type of domestic violence, and you told me that it's not. We have to clear that up. It absolutely is.
Say it again.
Child abuse is considered a type of domestic violence.
Sir, the other way around. Domestic violence is there is an umbrella. Child abuse is a larger umbrella than domestic violence. Domestic violence is more specific, right? Child abuse is more. Hold on, Zoe. Stop talking while I'm talking because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. You don't know what you're talking about. Child abuse is a big ass blanket. It's a big ass umbrella, right? One of the forms of child abuse is corporal punishment, i.e., domestic violence. Fine. That is one part of it. But child abuse also is neglect. And the number one form of Zoe, please shut up because you need to know this. The number one form of child abuse is neglect. See what I'm saying? So DV is not the overarching thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the other way around. It's child abuse, DV, and it breaks down like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you're just wrong. It's okay. You didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, per usual.
Child abuse was considered domestic violence. You're wrong.
I didn't say it wasn't. It's not. All right, go ahead, Merc. I can't. Now he about to crash out because he's wrong.
I was just gonna let you know that he here works in DV. He works for like DV organizations.
That's
so
fine.
Like he could,
yeah. I'm gonna let Merc go real quick. Go ahead, Merc.
Why am I being muted?
Go ahead, Merc.
People are in the comments are arguing. They're just look it up on Google.
Merc, are you there? What happened? Hold on. Somebody muted him, I think. I don't think he knows that he was muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, brother.
All right, man. So I was trying to really get in, but y'all stopped me in the track with your conversation. So when black men talk about serious shit, it's one of them things you got to stop and listen. So the way I look at it from my personal experience, I'm a 55-year-old male.
Don't make it your personal experience. I honestly couldn't care less about your personal experience. What I want you to do is you can give me your perspective. That's fine. But I don't want it to be, well, I raised my kids or I needed I couldn't care less about that. That's not what I'm saying. This is not an absolute. If you needed a dad or if you are a great dad, pats on the back, I commend you. That's not the conversation at all. Think about most men, most women, most fathers, most mothers. That's all we're talking about here. Have the conversation through that lens. If you can't have it through that lens, then it's not worth having right now.
Now looking from the lens, there are a lot of people that were successfully raised by single mothers.
Exactly. Now you're gonna minimize it. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. Just talk about most people, most men.
It's like one of the things. It's like now we'll be generalizing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel what you're saying, but it's like they're equally important. A real man, a son needs his father in his life, whether he's in the house or not. So a woman, no matter how much she nurtures, she can't teach a boy how to be a man.
Based on what? What does it mean to be a man?
And every man with balls.
What does it mean to be a man, Merc? Merc. Merc. What does it mean to be a man?
What does it mean to be a man? It's like to have character, have honor. It's a whole.
No. Don't glance over that. That's important. What does it mean? So to have honor, right? Cool. You don't want that. You don't want your daughter to have honor?
Well, I have a daughter, so I raised my daughter to have honor.
Okay. So what else? Name. Give me 5. Honor is 1. What's the other 4?
Honor, integrity, sense of accountability, work ethics, values.
Okay. So those 5 things, you don't teach your daughter those 5 things?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then what the fuck? Hold on. Then what does that have to do with being a man? If you're listen to what I'm saying, if you're teaching your girl to do the same things that you would teach your son, then why are you trying to make it as if it's this exclusive thing for manhood? It's not. You're just talking about raising a human being.
Okay, but I'm reading. So what stopped me in the track? I'm reading your title. So you pretty much is one of the things. Like, so I came in to ask a question. Reading your title, boys need their mothers, but not their fathers. So there's flipping like, okay, so I'm looking for clarity because it's like I'm saying I'm not trying to take away the role of a mother. Yeah. Like with my wife, if I was gone tomorrow, I could go with the peace of mind knowing that everything's gonna be all right because she's gonna hold it down. Okay. Because she did it before I came there. You know what I'm saying? It's so you're making it personal, like the way that I asked you not to do, because this is not an attack on you. What's that? This is not an attack on you personally. I don't know you. I'm not attacking you personally. Your kids may need you. And I'm not trying to take it personal. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna pretend to like throw like this study or that study because I haven't read no study. You know, I spent 28 years of my life as a soldier, and then it's like my role as a man is providing. You know what I'm saying? Providing and protecting my family. So it's like, I mean, if that's the case, then I don't know what you're saying, Merc. It's the same. I know, but you're not really saying anything relevant to the conversation right now. It just sounds like you're triggered because I just said that boys need their mothers and not their fathers. You can't articulate why you're confused by this. Where's the confusion coming from? You haven't told me, you haven't said anything that fathers provide for children explicitly or specifically that mothers don't or can't. I'm confused, which will prove my point. That's all I've been saying.
The things that men like to say, oh, boys need their fathers to grow up to be men. Says who? What do you need to, what attributes, what characteristics, what traits, what ideologies is your mother teaching you that your that your father taught you that your mother couldn't? I'm very confused by that. The only thing I can think of, and here's why I think men can't really answer the question. Quessy came up here and he started to, but the real reason why men say that is because the thing that he was actually, Quessy said it. Manhood is a performance. It's just a performance. It's not a real thing. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Because manhood doesn't exist, right?
Well, manhood are both social performances.
They're just performances. They don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. So saying that gender, performance, not a real thing. You present as a man, you can present as a woman. You can present as whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not real things. They're just social constructs. They're just made up, right? Cool. So what I'm trying to figure out is are you saying that you need a man to teach a boy how to perform manhood?
When you put it that way, that's a good question. But it's one of those things where you're telling me that I'm glossing over the subject. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can only speak from my perspective. You know,
why?
Me personally.
Wait.
It's all about leading by example.
Why can you only speak from your perspective? You just said you've been in the military for 25 years. You don't have any other experiences, but you're like 28. I'm sorry. 28. 28 years in the military. You're telling me you haven't seen anybody else's story. You haven't talked to anybody else. Like, what do you mean? You can only speak from your perspective.
I talked to many people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but from this point, it's like I'm talking from my point because that's my truth. That's my reality. So it's one of those things where not where it can be contradicted. Like, I'm not talking out of my ass.
But there's only one reality, Mert. So reality, your perspective can be contradicted by reality. You can feel like something is one way, and then reality could be something different, and it could literally contradict your reality. I mean, it literally could contradict your perspective without a doubt. So you're conflating or confusing perspective with reality. That's just your perspective. You can say you feel however you feel. I'm not gonna tell you don't feel that way, right? But that doesn't mean that makes it so. So you can feel like this is wrong, but you would then have to tell me, why is it wrong? Because I can tell you unequivocally, I think men should stay far away from their fucking kids, to be honest with you. Most men. I'm saying most men, not every man. Most men need to stay far away from their fucking kids.
I'll give you that. So I'm willing to meet you halfway to this. My thing was just like, when you read that thing, it's just like, you know, man busting up, go about your business.
No. I want the men. I'm sorry. If you want me to be more specific, I'll be more specific. I think men should always pay for the child, because that is the number one thing that separates the outcomes of like single children raised by single mothers versus every other demographic of people that raise kids, right? If you support a single mother financially, the kids will turn out fine. I think, and that is by those indicators, by those markers, because they don't speak to the character of the person. You see what I'm saying? I think that if men stayed away from kids, the character of the kid would be better, generally speaking, because the character of men is fucking trash. Men we have terrible character.
Thank you, Zoe. It's just absolutely not true, because the single mother household grieves to see most degenerate children.
This is just social commentary. And to assume that a person has a bad character off of their gender is asinine.
Oh, I'm not basing it on their gender. I'm saying that men are conditioned. I'm saying men are conditioned to be shitty people. I'm saying men are conditioned to be shitty people.
Brother.
That's crazy.
That's society at large. It's females out here just
hold on, Howard. Hold on. They're not. And you guys, okay. So we do this every single time. As soon as I start actually naming things that so we could just do a simple experiment, because I don't want to get into the numbers again, because y'all don't never care about numbers. But let me ask you, Mert, if women are just as shitty as men, like you just were saying, hey, even worse and all that weird shit, cool. I do the same experiment I do with all men.
That's not what he said.
Who said? Somebody said that. Somebody said even worse.
Nobody said that. He's only thing.
No, they did. So be quiet. Stop.
Somebody said that.
Somebody said that. Stop slurping, nigga.
I said there are women that are just grimy.
Zo, stop slurping this nigga, bro. I heard either it was you. Hold on. Either it was you, Quessy, or Mert. One of y'all said or even worse.
Mert said women can be just as grimy as men.
Yeah, and somebody said even worse.
Where it's just like,
yeah.
Even worse. That's what I'm saying. He didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm saying that I didn't say they were worse. I'm saying that women, there are women out there that, and right now in our society today, there are women that are as grimy as dudes are.
Okay, so my question is this. Just before I ask you this question, do you think men and women are equally as toxic?
They can be.
Nope, that's not what I'm asking you. See, when I ask y'all direct questions and you can't answer them, it doesn't help. Just answer the question directly. Do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Quessy thinks yes. Okay, cool. Merk thinks yes. So, do you think men and women are equally as toxic, as harmful?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Wait. That's all I want to know. Everybody said the 3 men said yes. So now I'm gonna ask you a question. Since we talking about kids, right? Merk, you got a child, right?
3.
You got 3 kids. Okay. How old is your youngest child?
22.
22. Damn, you old. Okay. No, I'm just playing. I'm just fucking with you, dog. 22. We probably about the same age. I'm just fucking with you. Hey.
I'm not gonna lie.
22. Okay. But when your child was young, let's say there was a man and a woman standing there, right? And you had your young child with you. There was something you needed to do. There was an emergency. You need to go. You know, your car fell into the ravine and your dog was in there, your wife was in there. You need to jump in the water to go save the kids. And you got to leave your baby with this man or this woman. And they both strangers. You don't know either one. You just met them. They just bystanders, right? They standing there, right? But you got to go. And you got to leave your kid because you can't take them with you. Who are you going to leave your kid with? You don't got no time to ask nothing. You just got to, it's an emergency. We got to go, Mert. Boom. You got to leave your kid with somebody. Who you going to leave your kid with? Hold on, Zoe, stop. Let this man answer the question. Stop slurping. Let this man answer his own question.
Natural inclination without thinking, I'm passing her off to the woman.
Okay, cool. Zoe already said we all gonna pass to the woman. Quessy, who you gonna pass the baby to?
For sure. No, I'm speaking for me. It's like
I know. I'm saying you said to the woman. Zoe said to the woman. Quessy said to the woman. Now, make this make sense. If men and women
don't reach, Pub, I feel like you about to
I don't reach, brother. I don't have to reach. This is logic. This is how logic works. See, this is how I know y'all don't know how to think logically, because this is how logic works. So logically speaking, I can conclude from that response that you guys understand that men and women are in fact not equal when it comes to threats, being a threat. You can conclude from that that's not, nigga, that's a fucking logical conclusion to come to.
No, because you would have more trust with the care of your child in this situation does not mean that person is a better human being.
That is a fucking child. Why would you not leave your, sir, think about what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You're not logical. That's why I always ask, a child is involved, because it's hard to wiggle out of it when a kid is involved, right? So it's a kid. You have to leave the kid with the person you trust the most. And you don't know either one. Just based on their gender, race, it don't matter. It's a white woman and a black man. It's an Asian man and a black woman. It don't fucking matter. It's just a woman and a man. You stand. Hold on.
The way my mind works, I'm handing my daughter off to, because if it's a situation where if I'm going into action to save somebody I don't know, right? And I got a woman and a man standing right there, and it's a situation where I can't do it myself, so I'm handing off to a woman because I'm expecting another man to fucking nut up.
No other variables. The man's not getting in to jump in to save your wife with you. He's not going to risk his life.
You didn't say that.
I don't need to say that for this experiment. Okay, so let me take it back. Hold on, let me take it back. Let me take it back. That way you can't wiggle out of it. So the man that's standing there is in a wheelchair. He can't get in, or it's a 60-year-old man. He ain't about to jump in with you. He's crippled. he's enfeebled, whatever you want to say. There's a man and a woman, period. That's the whole thing. There is a man and a woman there, right? You are going to leave.
But see, now you playing with the motherfucking variables to make your point.
I'm not. I didn't think I needed to do that. I didn't think I needed to make it more concise. So y'all could. So I didn't think you were gonna try to play some game.
That was such a very look. What I'm saying, there's so many situations where you would pick the woman. There's so many situations where you would pick.
I would never. When I tell y'all this, I swear I put that on my fucking. I put that on everything I love. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Hush. Hush. If it were me, I wouldn't ever choose a man over a fucking woman. Never. Unless the woman can't walk or something like that. Like I wouldn't never in my life. Look, bro, when it comes to child rearing, when it comes to taking care of my children, we can take it into a more realistic situation. If I went to a daycare center and there was one man that worked there, I'm hemming and hawing. One man. It could be 20 women working there and one man. I'm gonna be like, there's a man there. I gotta really think about that shit. I have to really think about that shit. If it was all women there, it's not saying I'm gonna feel 100% comfortable, but I'm definitely not thinking the same. Like it doesn't add anything extra to my thought process. If there is one man, all it takes is for one man to be on the fucking campus, to be present, and I'm instantly on high alert. Instantly. I'm like, damn, it's a man there. Fuck. Okay. Damn. All right, cool. Like, because when I'm not there, if I'm not there, I have to think about everything that can go wrong. Throwing a man in the mix through the fucking roof. The likelihood of abuse in my mind goes through the fucking roof. Now, a bunch of women there, I'm like, okay, you got to watch out because, of course, anybody's capable of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I'm not saying that. Anybody's capable of harming my child. Of course, I'm going to be looking out. But there are certain abuses I'm not going to be that afraid of. The numbers for certain things drop exponentially, right? Like grape drop exponentially if there's all women there. So I'm not worried about that. They might get neglected. They might get yelled at. They might, you know what I'm saying? Like it might be some stuff, but it ain't going to be, I got to fucking worry about, I'm going to find out 20 years later that these women were sleeping with my baby. Like that ain't going to happen. More than likely, that's not going to be the case. I got a 90% chance of getting out of there where my baby going to be all right. He going to be perfectly okay. That in that regard. But if it's a man involved, I don't know. Probably they walk out safe, by the way. I'm not saying most men do this, but I'm just saying that is now something that I have to strongly consider. When my baby had a female teacher for the last 3 years. Best teacher I've ever seen, probably. He is now with a male teacher. I was very initially, my senses were heightened. Let me put it like that. Him having a male teacher because he's special needs, right? So my senses, I was like, oh my God, for many reasons, not for abuse nets, because this is public school. I'm not really worried that he gonna do like that kind. But the neglect, I was like, male teachers are known to neglect their kids the same way fathers are known to neglect their children at home. And you having a special needs child, neglect is something that you can't tolerate it. And I'm worried about that I'm worried about it a little bit, but I met his teacher. I've been around him and he's doing, the teacher's doing fine. He has a bunch of aides in the class and all of that stuff. I think the teacher is fine. As good as you can get for a man. Don't get me wrong. He's as good as you can get for a man, but he's still a man. He's still nowhere near as good as my son's female teacher. Like not even close. But he's not bad. He's not terrible. And I trust him, thus far. That's all I'm saying. And y'all up here acting like that doesn't make sense. Why do y'all not understand the correlation between that thought process and how that directly contradicts what you guys are saying about men and women?
Because it's such a childish idea to say, because I trust you more with the nurturing of this individual means that you are a better person overall. That is a childish idea. It's nonsensical.
Yeah, because I think if you presented a scenario, let's just say someone was left
in go ahead after me here,
and they wanted either the man or woman to be charged with the survival of that child. I think that a lot of people will kind of change their answer to that question. I think
exactly, Joe.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Zo?
People are presented.
Say that again.
I'm saying it again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So if people are presented with a scenario where either that man, that strange man or woman are challenged with, right, in the wilderness, the survival of the child, I think a lot of people might change the answer to their question. Some people that pathologize men absolutely want it. They'll be committed to their answer. But nonetheless,
wait. Are you saying that that some people, if my child was in the forest and I was still leaving with the woman, are you fucking insane?
Okay,
are you guys fucking insane? In the forest? Wait, you're saying leave my child with a strange man in the forest versus a fucking woman? And you're saying most people would pick the man? You are fucking crazy.
I challenge you to juxtapose both of those scenarios whenever you ask this question to the same people, the same population of people.
They would say the woman too.
I guarantee
it gets even worse in your scenario. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, regardless of whatever you believe, your scenario highlights what you're trying to the bias that you're trying to kind of like persuade. But my scenario also highlights the bias as well. People are biased in different ways based off of what they think man and woman capabilities are.
I don't think men are any better prepared. So wait. So in your scenario, here's what I'm saying. Why your scenario is even worse. In my scenario, there's two people there at least. There's a man and a woman there, right? So there's witnesses there, right? In your scenario, you're saying it's going to require even more trust. It's going to require even more trust on my behalf to give my child to a person with nobody else around, just my child, a random person in the forest. Zoe, why are you talking while I'm talking? You're saying that in my, huh?
You just said
in your scenario, you're saying that most people would say, oh, in this scenario, I would choose the man. Zoe, please shut up. It's the same scenario as with the woman choose a bear or a man in the forest, and we already know how that turned out. So your scenario isn't any different than the bear and the man in the forest. You think the women, if they had a choice, so for themselves, they would choose the bear. For themselves, listen to what I'm saying. The women have a choice between a bear and a man, and the women chose the bear. You are saying that same population of people presented with this scenario of a child, a man in the forest versus a woman or a child in the forest, they would choose a man. You aren't logical. That's not logical, bro.
Listen to my logic. Okay, because you've been lecturing. I don't know why you like to lecture like
because y'all niggas don't make no fucking sense.
We're having a conversation. I make perfect sense. You just disagree.
You don't make perfect sense, bro. I swear to God, y'all be thinking the hubris of men is crazy. You niggas don't never make sense.
Am trying to make to you is that when you present a scenario where the person, the man or the woman, are charged with being the survivor or the protector, I think it is more likely that a person might choose that man over the woman. Not that everybody's going to choose it. I'm just saying that it is more likely. It just is what the fuck it is, because it plays on the same, again, socialization that we're talking about concerning both men and women. A lot of people believe that men survive better in the wild. It just is what the fuck it is. You want me to act like that socialization don't exist?
That's not what it's about.
That's just common.
So you guys are missing. Hold on, wait. And hold on, y'all. Let me help you out. And this is how I know this is logic 101. Because it is not just about surviving. It's not. What it also is about is the safety of the child. During their survival, it's about the safety. So what Zoe, please shut the fuck up, bro. Damn. It's about all right, you gotta get dropped. You can't. you gotta be quiet. You gotta be quiet. This shit is crazy. It is not just about the survival. It's not just about will the child make it out alive in the end. That's not what it's about. What it's about is what is going to happen. What is going to happen during that process, right? Who is most likely going to be the person that they themselves unalive my child or harms my child? And overwhelmingly, it would be the man. Statistically, the man, right? Fuck socialization. We're talking about yes. So what the fuck, Quessy? Men are more violent. Men.
what statistics other than proving the situation where
that men unalive the vast majority of people on the face of the planet?
No, I'm talking about the specific. Why am I getting muted?
I don't know. Y'all got to stop. Hold on, wait. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm talking about in this specific situation. Where a man, not only is he charged with the responsibility of this child, but in this specific situation, they are both stuck in the woods. This man also has to survive too. I don't like in this situation.
And he's exactly. And he also, this is another thing that I thought about. Men are also more likely to just abandon the child because he has to survive. If it comes down to the man surviving or the sorry, bro, you're not Quessy, shut up, bro. You got to be quiet. You two niggas acting dumb, acting like what I'm saying about men is wild right now. When both of y'all just said women are more nurturing. You guys are not logical.
I literally said they're not. I quite literally said they.
You didn't say that. You agreed. I asked you. I asked you.
I said that they are responsible for most of the child abuse. Statistically, I said that. I don't know what other people's words you're attributing to me. I never said that.
I agree with you that women are socialized to be more nurturing. I absolutely agree with that.
You're not though. You can agree with that. You can agree with that.
Okay, that's fine.
Statistically, it's not true. Women abuse children
on that.
Astronomically.
Yeah, he gonna disagree with you as soon as you say something good about a woman. Quessy's a little bit more extreme than you are, though. Just so you know, like he hates women a little bit more than you do.
I don't hate women. Where's this coming from? Like this is
just Pop. Pop just says things out of God knows where he gets it from.
He's just making shit up at this point.
Just making shit up. That's all.
But I was going to say, I think that would be a good social experiment for you to public offend. Is this your real name? Can I call you something else? Like what the fuck? But okay. This idea that if you present.
Hey, why did y'all mute him?
What the fuck is this?
I don't know. I didn't mute him. Please, you guys, please don't mute him.
Damn.
It's all good. The poll said, do you leave your child with a random man or woman? And they 97 point. What'd you say, Chad?
I said, would you leave your child with a random man in Atlanta?
Not that nigga.
Well, that's a different situation. No, nobody would do that. But situation.
Nobody will leave you with a random man. You just don't do that. That's common sense. That's not even everything.
Okay, you're up here echoing what was already said.
You're literally.
Right. No, y'all are literally.
Read the room. You got to read the room.
He read the room. Nigga been in there the whole time.
He doesn't need a parent.
You're not saying nothing.
What you just said. He's
not saying nothing. Y'all not saying nothing. Stop talking.
Okay, bro. Just go back to the audience and listen, please. So look.
No, I came up because I'm tired of listening to y'all.
Okay,
so swipe up. You might learn something. Your phone control this.
You might learn something, brother. You might learn something. You just came up here to scream and sound a little less
unintelligent. What? Y'all have never read. Give me. Have you read
Get it
anything?
Out. Take your time.
Have you read anything? Have you read a book?
Take your time. One mic on you.
Have you read anything?
Okay,
God,
that's all you came to ask.
Exactly.
No. I came to actually give the facts.
Buddy,
of the
full crash out.
I went to school for the shit. I went to school for y'all are not saying nothing. Y'all not saying nothing. This is a sociological subject.
What did you go to
This is a sociological subject. Why don't y'all expand your vocabulary? Like, bro, this is a real. Y'all are asking questions when the answers have already been studied and published.
Take a breath, brother. Go ahead.
Like this stuff is not, these are not new questions. The research is already done. Y'all didn't even know what a scholarly source was. Like, are y'all serious? Like, none of the questions that he is asking, this is not revolutionary.
This shit ain't deep at all.
The answers have already been published. This has been done decades ago. Like, y'all just don't know, because that's how I know that y'all are not reading. The answers to everything that he has said has already been done.
This shit is not, everything that I'm saying is, the funniest thing about what I'm saying to me, Chad, is that it's not beyond, it's been published. It's the shit that they know. It's just that you just know it, like just from observing society. Like, you don't even got to read that to know what I'm saying is true. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying is true.
Like, these are not revolutionary questions and concepts and ideas.
No, yes, they are. Yes, they actually are. They're very new ideas. It's a very new idea.
Because you don't read. Everything is new when you don't read. No, because you don't read.
Go ahead, BPG.
I was going to say, and it is, Chad, it's not new And it is because y'all don't read. I promise you, I've been sitting in that box.
We don't read.
Okay, it's been nice talking to y'all, man. Y'all be easy.
Screaming my head off because if only you niggas would read. I
just
promise
read.
you.
Wait,
all
so
of the that you have been arguing about, I promise you, your eyes would be open. Outside of the fact that, no, if a child is left in the forest with a man, which historically that has not happened, it's not a thing because of the fact that men have been dangerous throughout history to women, children, and to themselves. They would not survive. But also, even if you went to a time where people were predominantly living in forests, men did not survive. Women got the food. Women were the hunters and the gatherers.
They were now cite that. Where are you getting that from?
I am so glad you asked because
Absolutely.
you niggas don't read.
This is the wrong person to say side of sword. She had the motherfucking book open. I knew that shit was coming.
Because one thing about it, I love to read. The moment that you keep laughing,
Zoe, be quiet. Be quiet, Zoe. Zoe, be quiet. She gonna tell you everything you want to know. Just let her cook. I promise you.
In most primitive societies of the past and in all hunting-gathering societies still existing today, women provide on the average 60% or more of the food.
Damn.
What book is this?
Oh yeah, this is The Creation of Patriarchy by Gerda Lerner.
Okay, so
and the better part about this book is
who's the academic that wrote it?
The better part about this is
who's the academic?
You can't argue about this book being propaganda because of social media, because this
it was written 100 years ago.
It wasn't written 100 years ago. It was written in 1986. But
this is wait, I'm trying to get the name, sister.
It's by Gerda Lerner. It's by Gerda Lerner.
Let me see what she's
Google it. This is what.
I'm
the time it's gonna take for you to Google it, though, I have another book in mind because y'all was talking about the gender pay gap and how that doesn't exist. And this
hey, hold on, wait, BPG. Don't say y'all, cause say him. Make sure you say him specifically, cause I disagree. This is what I gotta get. I gotta make sure I separate myself, cause y'all was not saying that. I was saying the opposite.
Some of the people in the class outside of Club and Chad were saying that the gender pay cap does fake.
All right, yeah, I like. I feel better.
Okay, all right, okay. This choice isn't a choice. Is the choice that isn't a choice is making women poor. A recent Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) study found that the gender pay gap in hourly wages is substantially higher in countries that are spending a large amount of time on unpaid. In the UK, women make up 61% of those earning below the living wage, and the Institute for Fiscal Studies has found that the gender pay gap widens over the 12 years after a child is born to 33% as women's careers and wages stagnate. The U.S. pay gap between mothers and married fathers is 3 times higher than the pay gap between men and women without children. If you want more books, for sure, I can help out. There's a book called Weathering that talks about it. The extraordinary stress of ordinary life in an unjust society. If you want to talk more about hierarchical structures and how they hinder people, that's that from the beginning by Ibram X. Kendi. It talks about that. And there's also The Consequences of Capitalism, which talks about why you niggas think y'all gonna be rich and you ain't never gonna get there.
Never.
So if you read every known Chomsky,
I just looked this.
if you see known Chomsky, read every known Chomsky book.
1 second.
Oh, I have known Chomsky.
No. I just looked this thing about that 60% figure up. And it says it's not based on direct data from prehistoric societies because they don't have exact records, but it's inferred from studies from modern origin.
Say that again. Wait, say that again.
So it's not actually 60%. So it's not from direct data. This is an assumption.
I know, but wait. What did you? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I want you to read. I want you to repeat what you.
Just let me finish.
No, fuck that. I want you to read. You shouldn't be able to finish. I don't think you're understanding. You cannot refute it. Hold on, Zoe. You just said that there isn't enough data, right? Which is fine. I'm cool. Listen to what I'm saying, Zoe. I'm cool with not believing BPG's take or believing your take. Because this is one thing that I say, especially about like ancient history. I'm like, what the fuck do we really know, right? I say that all the time, right? But I want to be clear that for you to, if you say what you say, if you believe what you're saying right now, then you cannot refute what she is saying. All you can say at best is, I don't believe that that's true. And that's fine.
But also it contextualizes it as well. And it says that it's mainly talking about fruits and vegetables, plant foods, and small animals. It says that man labor was typically reserved for large game. So like large animals. I think that
let's go to the page where it talks about
I wouldn't disagree with that if you contextualize that or
in real. So, and here's the thing, and here's why I hate having these conversations with people like Zoe, because a person like BPG will sit up here and read books and highlight shit and do all of this fucking labor just to have a nigga like Zoe Google some shit in real time and go, see right here, Google told me. Like, please, bro, like, stop. Just stop. You're looking worse than you normally look.
That would have been
you're not even you're not even Googling it the correct way. You're not even using Google Scholar and things like that. I am using
Google Scholar. I'm a researcher.
You're not pulling it.
I'm a researcher.
Oh my God. Like, please. Like, y'all are not
I can never take you niggas seriously.
Y'all are not the only motherfuckers that have degrees up here. Please stop it. This weird.
Here, hold on, wait. And here's
oh my God. What don't even have a degree.
That's it. I sure don't. Hold on. And here's the funniest thing about the scholar, about the degrees. Hold on, wait. Here's what I be saying about this shit too, in real time. Here's why degrees don't. Kanye said some people graduate but be still stupid, right? Like, you definitely could get a degree and still be a dumbass. Shit happens all the time. Happens every day. 100,000 niggas with degrees graduate every day and still be dumb. I talk to so many men who have gone to college and have degrees, and I know people that got MBAs, master's degrees, dumb as shit. Dumb ass shit. Like, I be talking to them niggas like what? Like, I'm telling you, the fact that you have a degree and you have a degree and BPG is literally reading from, and I'm not saying that her books are filled with lies too. So I'm not even saying you have to take her books at face value. I'm just saying you clearly haven't done nearly the same amount of research on this as she has, but in real time, you are just Googling shit to refute her talking points.
For context.
You're not doing shit for context. You're doing it to be argumentative. You don't have all the context because, nigga, you just Googled some shit. That's the opposite of context.
The name of the book verified that it was a reliable source.
Brother,
when you get the name of the book,
that is not an empirical source. That book is about social commentary. That's not an empirical source.
Is not.
It doesn't present data in that book.
Google the author's name.
Let's go on mute. You don't know what the hell is going on.
Google. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, not at all.
Hilarious.
That's not an empirical source, brother. It has no data in that book.
Social science.
Can you continue with what you were telling us?
Why?
These are done by social.
Wait, why you want BPG to continue when all you gonna do is Google some stupid shit?
She was making a point about the wage gap.
Go ahead.
You should already know this.
Go ahead, y'all. Let BPG go. Let BPG go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
To bring the tape over here.
Oh, you lit?
And not to add, I do. I certainly agree that these are things that you should know, but also I think the part that irritates me is, and I have to highlight this point here, is just like Pub said, it's not a matter of whether or not this book that I'm reading is definitively correct about everything. When we're talking about history and anthropology, what they're doing is they're piecing together parts based on what the assumption is of, okay, I found these tools in this space from these people. I can sort of assess that this is how they lived based on this. When I find the bones of females, I find them next to hunting tools. I find them in these spaces, blah, 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 blah. But again, the only reason why information like this is intentionally suppressed is because it's supposed to allude to the fact that women aren't able to do these things that y'all swear never happened. But the other irritating part is that you just Googled a book to try to refute the point that I made when you are actively looking at the fact that I have read through this. I could not possibly have made all of these notes and annotations in all of these books that relate to the subject right now. So you know for a fact that the information that I am giving you is based on some form, obviously, of study. This is based on like actual study of the evidence. For a lot of men, the reason why y'all don't want to accept this is because it's the same reason why y'all want to argue online. It's because you don't want to accept a world where you don't automatically get considered the brilliant mind in the room. And honestly, I think it's very irritating too, though, that y'all also believe that somehow education is, is refutable, that somehow educating yourself on specific subjects is refutable when you know that you haven't done the work. You know for a fact that what you just Googled, you would not be able to have this conversation with me about whether or not men survived without women, knowing that you have to Google the book that I've already read to try to find
that's literally what I'm saying. Imagine the audacity of arguing with a person who like that doesn't, I am embarrassed for you for trying to do that. That is so embarrassing.
Okay, so hold on, wait.
That's so embarrassing. You couldn't pay me to embarrass myself like that.
Let's back a little bit, right? So one, I appreciate you providing the notes that you took in the book. That's not an issue. The problem I was trying to get was the context of which the statement you were making was being made in, right? Because we're having a conversation concerning men in the wild and their quote unquote roles and responsibilities. You then came in and told us, right? Hey, well, during these times, these hunter and gathering times, women provided 60% of the food, right? So automatically, you kind of stopped there. You didn't read before. So can
I ask a clarifying question?
Can I just continue? Can I finish?
I want to ask.
Let him finish, y'all. Please let Zoe finish, y'all. Please.
Please just finish.
Please let Zoe finish, y'all.
Okay. I went to look exactly what was the context surrounding women providing 60% of the food, because I've never heard that be communicated in that way. And when I looked into it, it talked about the types of food that women provided, and it also said that a 60% was a definitive number. So that's all that I'm saying. You didn't propose it as
it doesn't matter what type of food. Hold on, wait.
I'm not saying that it does matter. I'm just saying the rest of the context. That's all I'm saying.
But it was irrelevant to the conversation, though.
Oh yeah, it was.
How did that disprove anything that she was saying?
If she said that women provided 60% of the food that were plants, vegetation, fruits and vegetables, no, I don't think I would have even had any quote unquote response to that, because I'm familiar with that. That sounds more like what I've read in the past.
Wait,
absolutely.
There is a 100% of the food that's needed, right? There was 100% of the food that was provided. It don't fucking matter.
It does matter.
It don't fucking matter what percentage. And this is why, hold on. And here's what I'm saying. Here's why men are fucking a little kooky, because no matter what, you're going to try to say that, like you tried to already do. Whoa, big game hunting. It's still only made up for 40% of the food, no matter how you slice it. No. And labor is, and we all know that labor is labor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. Hold on, wait. Let me ask you a question. Zoe. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. If we needed to survive, right? If we needed to survive on either the amount of food that men brought in or the amount of food that women brought in, who would you go with?
I would say the amount of food men brought in.
Hold on, and this is what I'm saying, white math, nigga. Based on these numbers, 60% was provided by women. So you would get more food if you just went with the food that was provided. This nigga, my nigga, if Johnny had 5 apples, bro. If Johnny had 5 apples, my nigga, this is crazy work. This nigga think the 40% of food that men brought in is more important because men did it. This nigga.
You're just repeating things over and over.
Crazy. Crazy. It don't matter. It only represented 40% of the fucking food. This nigga. I gotta go. Oh my God. It only represented 40% of the food.
On a hunter-gatherers.
We don't have to
scenario.
We don't have to
when that wasn't even the subject. The subject was gender pay gap. It's like y'all literally will take one sentence and want to go and belabor.
You're mad because I look for extra context.
You don't look for extra context.
Y'all mad because people don't believe everything you say on
extra context. You're not qualified to look for extra context. You need
I'm
to
not qualified. What is this?
No.
Who the
you
fuck
get
are you?
challenged. You
like what?
You don't have the intellect to challenge anything. You need to sit down and shut up.
You're screaming on TikTok about somebody not being qualified.
Because
an expert wouldn't be on TikTok screaming, bro.
Because you are dumb.
Bro, this shit is painful, bro. This nigga just, hey, I just want to be clear that what just happened was women actually produce 60% of the food in the society. Men produce 40%. I asked this man, if you needed to survive, but you can only survive on one group of the, whatever one group was bringing in, which one would you go with? Which is I didn't even think it was a trick question. I thought it was an easy question, right? This nigga said to me, you talking about the lower amount of food? What are we talking about here, bro?
I think there's something going on with your comprehension.
Nigga, please. I'm about to flip this table over. This is crazy.
I need to point this part out though, because the other part is, and this is why it annoys me that people think that this is a TikTok, like these are TikTok debates. They're not debates. Like, you would have to have an opposing opinion on your end with information that supports that idea. The real issue here is that when you have information presented to you that you could look into that on your own time. You said indefinitely that these are things that men were doing, that men did this and men did that, and men. But hold on, because you asked me to be quiet when you spoke, and I was quiet. Okay. You did not provide one source of any of the information that you have spouted here. Like, you haven't added not one piece of data, not a book, not an article, not an author, not an anthropologist, not a sociologist, not an ethnologist. You have not added any information to substantiate not one claim that you have made. And I think that it is indicative of what the bigger problem is that women will have the information. Women will come prepared. Women will look into the things that they say before they say them, because they don't want to just say something. I hate saying random things that don't actually make sense, or saying things that aren't true. So I make sure that I keep myself updated on as much information as possible so that I can make a well-informed decision. The decisions that you're making is based on your own confirmation bias. You already said that you probably wouldn't have received it. Like, if it talked about women, which this book does, it talks about women leading people out of leading the civilization out of barbarism. It talks about that. It also talks about the life expectancy of men and how it was that men were not able to properly hunt because men had such huge egos that they thought that they could hunt alone. So guess what? They were getting eaten and unalived, because women knew how to hunt in packs. And you see that mimicked in nature. Y'all love talking about nature. You see that mimicked in nature. This is why lionesses hunt, but lions don't. You didn't want to receive the information because it was tied to a woman, and that's the misogyny peeking out. We can't help that. But if you were sincere about your efforts and trying to share the information that you had, you would have simply shared the author. Anybody can remember the book. I can name just about any book that I have read to give you the information that I have. Maybe not the author, because that's a little difficult, but you have not named any of those things, and we are supposed to believe what you're saying, as opposed to the knowledge that I have shown you, that I have read several books on one subject, and you still have not presented not one source to refute any of that information.
So the book that you presented, I just told you that it wasn't empirical. I don't need a source to prove that your book isn't empirical. I will hope that because you read it, you also know that as well. It doesn't have data in that book, right?
That's not how that listen to that woman. Don't say nothing, dude.
Oh, brother.
Like, come on. Like,
brother, you just go to sleep.
You need to just listen.
You need to go to sleep.
No, you need to.
You're tired.
Need to go to sleep. You've been sleep too much. As you need to wake up.
Oh,
like,
brother.
dude, this is frustrating as an adult.
Okay.
Adult, why is it that y'all expect us to re-educate y'all all the time? Where the fuck was y'all at? Where the fuck was y'all at when we learned this shit the first time?
Brother, I don't need any education.
But y'all want to argue about everything. This is a problem. This is a real problem.
Oh,
why would you even
screaming? You're not even talking.
I'm not screaming. I ain't screaming. I'm talking. Who cares? Because I'm tired of y'all being stupid. Y'all too grown for this. Grow up. Like, why was y'all clowning? Where was you at? We all know this. You mean to tell me that everybody just knows this shit and you don't, and you're right? You think you're right.
That's emotional regulation.
You think you're right. That's the problem.
Oh, you're very mad.
You have never read shit.
Okay, thank you.
And you think you right. Like, and y'all want us to re-educate you. Y'all want us to take our time as grown-ass individuals and re-educate you on some shit that you should have learned the first time. We can't even have a mature conversation where the conversation flows productively because we get stuck all the time by y'all. And y'all, it's always the same shit. Y'all are frustrating. Like, why don't y'all just listen sometimes? You ain't gotta argue everything. Shit, the conversation be stuck. Like, damn, just stop talking.
Yeah, you're stupid. So be
No. You're very
you're very simple.
You're very everybody knows that you're repeating yourself. We all know that you're stupid. We all know that you are fucking stupid. You are fucking stupid. We all know that. Like,
that's what's saying on your best.
You're fucking stupid. We all know that. That's clear.
Are you done?
No, because you fucking stupid.
Okay,
we all know that.
Okay, brother. We're moving past you now. You're dumb.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, because you were getting into a bit about the wage gap. I don't know if you wanted to finish or not, or if you were already finished, but I think
what am I going to finish? Like, you've already...
He was screaming over you the whole time, so I couldn't
but you've already accepted that the only type of evidence that you want is some form of empirical evidence, right? Now, granted, I can't. There's nothing that I can tell you that will be a viable source because of the fact that you don't even know that the way that anthropology works is that collecting data, collecting evidence, collecting, cross-cultural studies, all of those things are how these books are compiled together to give information. If I tell you that I have a book which provides a bibliography of where this data is being collected, and I give you that information, what exactly are you going to say? Because the book that I have here, Invisible Women, and it talks about it's called The Data Bias in a World Designed for Men. The only thing that it's going to do is provide the author's theoretical ideas on how these things occurred, the evidence for which she studied to get this information and compile it into a book, and that's how books work. In anything I say at this point, you won't.
No, that's
not true.
Every smart person knows to not debate anything that you are saying right now.
That highlighted.
We know that you are correct.
That highlighted point that you had in the book, did it have a footnote by it or anything?
Yes, that's what the bibliography is for.
That reference where she got that particular line from is what I'm asking.
You don't need to challenge nothing she said.
Oh my God.
Stop challenging.
Damn.
BBG.
You're not adding shit to the conversation.
Stop challenging. Stop. BBG, you wasting your time on this idiot. You ain't gotta answer.
You're just dumb. You're very stupid.
You are dumb.
You're an agent.
You don't challenge anybody who's smart. I know in depth the concept that she's talking about. I know in depth the books that she's talking about.
You don't.
I've read you.
So tell me about the footnote then.
You are so dumb. You're challenging
One mic on you.
her.
You tell me about the footnote.
You don't need to challenge her at all. I know for a fact that she knows everything that she's speaking of. She is correct. She is 100% correct. She don't gotta prove nothing to you. And you don't even have the wherewithal.
She doesn't want to answer the question.
You don't even have the wherewithal to understand that she is teaching. You need to listen to her. Stop questioning her.
I don't disagree with Chad at all whatsoever. And I don't disagree with Chad because of the fact that if you were paying attention, when I showed you the piece that I had, it had a little number in the corner that had a 21 on it. And of course, you know that the 21 will tell me in the bibliography where I can find further information on that. What am I supposed to do? Again, you still have not provided a source for the information that you said. And you want me to not only give you the author of the book that I read, to give you an excerpt from the book that I read, to go to the bibliography to provide the data for which the author got the information from the book that I read. And you still haven't provided a source for where it is.
What source for what I said? What exactly did I say that you wanted a source for?
You were saying that you would believe, didn't you mention that you would believe that when we were talking about hunter-gatherer society, and women gathering 60% of the food, that you would believe that 60% of that food was gathered by women if it were like nuts and berries and, very small, dainty things that can gather, right? But if it were talking about meat and game and things like that, then you would believe that because you said, this is verbatim, you said that you have read information that tells you that men did these things. The only thing that I'm asking is, where is the information that you have read, the name of the book? You don't even got to go into the author. I can figure out the rest. The name of the book where you read that men were hunting game and wild beasts in order to collect the food for society. That's 60%.
No. I didn't give a number to it. The 60% that was provided came from your source. So I'm just being clear. Like, let's be clear about what was said.
You said that you read it though. Where did you read it?
Where did I read that men hunted large game?
Yeah.
I've read that in a number of books.
Which one?
Let me pull up my library. I'm gonna pull up my library.
Can I ask what time period? Can I ask what time period you're referencing?
She's talking about. She was doing primitive societies, right? BPG.
Right. Can you give me that time period? What time period?
The same time period that her source was talking about.
Why don't you tell me what that? Why don't you tell me what that time? Like, I want years.
Her book didn't provide you.
It did.
Well, but you're making a claim.
No. In that sentence you read, it didn't provide a year.
Well, you're making a claim, aren't you? That big game was a big source of food during primitive time, right?
It definitely was not.
No. That's not what I said. Okay, this is why y'all are confusing the fuck out of me. Because primitive times isn't quote unquote a time period.
It is.
No, it's not. It's an old state, which is called the old Stone Age. You have the Middle Stone Age. You have the New Stone Age. You have the Bronze Age. You have the Iron Age. All of those ages are quote unquote primitive history or primitive periods. All of those.
I got to read some stuff. Wait, talk about y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Joe. Give me 1 second. Let me read these real quick, and then y'all can. We're gonna reset. Catch Me Outside said, I haven't heard not one source from Zoe. Teresa said the empirical evidence in BPG's book is in the reference section. Zoe is profoundly ignorant about academic research. Knowledge is cumulative. Intently purposeful said, quasi work. Reese Scott said, it's peak male brain to think the big game is the most important source of food. Big meat equal important. Drop Zoe. That's 5 on his head. Teresa said, the myth of the manhunter. Woman's contribution to the hunter cross ethnographic context. Women did large game hunting. BPG is right. Published 2023. Maud said there are 9,000-year-old grave sites of women buried with tools for hunting and processing big game. So Zoe's 40% argument is still inaccurate. Vanity, brother, this is not the time for you to argue. I'm reading. Vanity said, Kwesi and Zoe, why you? Jesus Christ. Kwesi and Zoe, two predators slurping each other. Shanika said, saying women statistically is worse regarding child abuse equal to black men being the most criminally involved due to arrest and prison population. Exactly. It's a crime of proximity. The men know that when you actually, especially black men, I hate when black men talk about that. That all this shit, I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely more disappointed in black men for believing this stupid shit. I'm not gonna even lie, like I am, because I'm like, it should be really easy for black men to identify with the plight of women because we're black, right? But nope. Instead, you got a bunch of dumbass niggas up here lying on women. It's crazy. Facts and Snacks said, this is biology. Women have larger limbic systems, and differences in the limbic system contribute to us being in touch with our feelings, expression of feelings, and more efficient appreciating the emotional spectrum. Maureen Prescott said, Alexa, play Insane in the Men Brain by Cypress Hill. By Shining Star said, manhood by itself is abusive. Why not humanhood? Yeah, I like that. Shorty Rara said, stop saying men protect and provide. We don't. Teresa said, the Handbook of Men and Masculinities isn't social commentary. 543 pages of research written by men with actual expertise. Men commit 90% of violence. Only 90%? Thought it was way higher. Maud said, considering that children instinctively choose women when needing help, why are these men lying about who they'll choose? Are they dumber than kids? Yeah, they're more disingenuous than kids. Maud said, I'll leave my kid with the female bear versus a human male. God damn. Teresa said, it's not likely because of socialization. It's not. Teresa said, where's daddy? Men abandon, quote unquote, where's daddy? Men abandon kids so often it makes it difficult to study men's fertility. That's facts. Women are more nurturing. There is neuroscience that prove it. Teresa said the research erasure Joe Biden's age. I'm sorry. The researchers are Joe Biden's age. Yeah. She's saying the data is old as fuck. Shanika said same. Okay, that's it. So we got through all the readings. Okay, go ahead, Kenzie.
Yeah, I just wanted the time period that he's referencing.
Okay, you weren't listening, Kenzie, so I'm not going to keep having the same conversation. Especially, I don't really do this with white women anyways.
Oh my God.
It just is what it is. But
you can say I wasn't listening all you want, but I mean, I don't know why it's hard to just give me a year time frame. Like, are you talking pre 10,000 BC?
Okay, so primitive times, like I said, because it's what the word used.
Again, just give me a year, please. I don't know why you need so much.
I'm not
if you're already complaining about having to give me your argument. Are you that fragile?
No, he's I don't very fragile.
I just told you that.
Of course you, sir. Do you work?
Yeah.
Then you spoke to white women. Stop playing that fucking game. You speak when you up here. This your job, nigga. You gonna speak to some white women. You gonna speak to this white woman, or you could drop. I'm good with that. If you're gonna be rude and talk about you can't speak to a white woman, you could dip. That don't make you pro, nigga. You ain't no real. Hold on, Zo. Any black man that go around fucking lying on black women and then turn around talking about I don't want to talk to a white woman is a fucking clown. You ain't blackity black nigga. Stop with the games, bro. You can't even say the word right. Shut up. Now I want to hear this. Go ahead. I can't wait to hear this stupid shit. Go ahead. Yep. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm pandering to black women. When nothing I'm saying says black women or black men.
You take their money, you don't choose them. That's what you do.
Yep. I took their money, I don't choose them. Mm-hmm.
Yep. You let them cash out you to fund your interracial lifestyle? Absolutely.
Yep. Interracial lifestyle. What's that?
Mm-hmm. What you're doing, what you're involved.
What is an interracial lifestyle?
What you are.
What lifestyle is an interracial lifestyle?
I choose black women every day.
You choose to abuse them.
You have to.
You choose to abuse them every day.
I don't. A black man with a black woman is abusing them, but you with your white woman, you're not abusing.
I'm not abusing it. Exactly. I can't even abuse them if I wanted to. Hey.
Thank you. Like, but it's crazy. Like the thing that we're just being said is like, so the only value that you have to black women is by fucking them.
That's what they always. That's what they always. That's what they always get to. I'm like, so I got to be fucking them. Like,
you gotta be fucking them. That's the only way you are pouring into a woman. That's the only way you're helping women. That's the only way you're doing good by women is by fucking them. And if you ain't fucking them, then you ain't benefiting them and you ain't helping them at all. It's just like, does that make any sense?
It doesn't. Every time they say that, that's the first thing I think of. I'm like, so let's just take it back. I would be married if my wife was black. I'd be married to one woman no matter what, right? So I'm only with this one woman. There's only one. Only got one woman I can be with, right? That's the one woman I'm with. So if I'm not fucking all the black women in the world, based on this dude's logic, then I'm disrespect. Like, what do you mean? I'm not understanding. This is so weird. It's such a weird take. Like, oh man.
It just shows where a lot of people's minds is, because it's like, you mean to tell me that? Because it really shows where they value women. Like, you only see yourself doing good by women when you are
hunching them,
giving them sex.
Yep.
Because you ain't giving them nothing else.
Nope. He said, I love black women, and get up here every day and be like, black baby mothers is a problem in the community. Nigga, I'll tell
Right, but I'm pro-black because I got me a black chick that I'm fucking and disrespecting. Like, like, come on now, like, it's the things that are being said, like, it don't. 1 + 1 don't be equal in 2, and then they want to argue the shit. Like,
also, what they say is that they'll be like, you doing this while simultaneously being like, you black women are dumb because y'all letting this. I'm like, nigga, you
come on now.
Like, what is going on, bro? I thought you loved them.
What you do is offer an encouraging word. That's the very least, but nothing positive come out of their mouth. And then it's like, how they want to say, they want to say some shit like, what the fuck you just said? Shit. Oh my God, motherfucker just said, damn, it's gonna come right back to me. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like the shit just don't be adding up public. And it'd be like, I know you want to have discussions that are on high level, things that better the community, but the conversations end up being so
childish,
remedial and childish. And it's like, I know that's not what the platform is. Literally like they're taking an academic platform and turning it into Jerry Springer, and it's like insulting to the people who actually have education, who actually tune in to listen to
the conversations.
You know high level conversations. Because
we do sometimes we have high level conversations, but then often you're right, it just instantly gets derailed, and then they want to be on some like, oh, you're a panderer, you don't even like black. They just say the same stupid. I'm like, do you think you the first person to say that to me this week? Fuck ever.
You can tell that they have no concept of anything that is the subject matter, because you know why? Because if you understood the subject matter and the way society is set up, then as a man in society, none of the things said would trigger you, because at the end of the day, we still got the power. So who cares what anybody says? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you so triggered that someone doesn't like men, or that people feel this way about men? Like, this is what happens when you hold the power. People will have grievances against you. You shouldn't be triggered by these things.
That's
like,
right.
Why are you so upset
because
at the things that people say?
Because
it's just like,
because he's childish. The man. Because he's a part of the group that's doing the harm. And then when you call them out, they go, not me. Don't put the light on me. And I'm like, man, it's you. But wait, I won't.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, why would you be triggered and upset when as a man, your position in our society is not threatened by how other people feel. So why can't you just listen?
I don't know. Zoe in the comments crashing out though. Zoe, if you want to, since you're a researcher, research how to cash at me $100 and come back up here so you can say it with your chest. Because you wasn't saying none of that when you was up here.
The question I wanted to ask you, Zoe, is I wanted to know the time period, because if you're saying big game hunting was a significant resource for tribes, I want to know how you overcome the objection of refrigeration. Because obviously meat isn't going to last long if you can't refrigerate it.
You can't refrigerate it.
If he knew that for real, we knew that the conversation was going left when he said two things. When he talked about the period being the Stone Age, which has multiple periods in it. Like we know that the Stone Age itself has multiple periods in it. But also when you're talking about hunter-gatherer societies, you aren't talking about people who are eating a significant amount of meat. Because like you said, where are they putting this meat? Like, where's this meat going? But also
in his mouth.
Oh my God. And then completely, like, it's
in his mouth is crazy.
He was up here cyber slurping for an hour and a half. That's all he was doing was cyber slurping in men's.
It was like watching Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake at the Super Bowl all over.
Cringy.
And like, maybe that's an old person reference. I don't know. But the other thing is I hate when these dudes talk about especially in reference to your relationship, how they support Black women. And I think, honestly, it's a clue into the kind of support that Black women are getting from Black men. Like, this is the honest to God truth. Because, again, that entire time, he was still yelling. He was still being condescending. He was still being harmful. And honestly, Black women don't want to be in relationships with men who only want to be with them because they Black. If you ever have my husband on this panel and he started talking about being with a Black woman because he upholding the Black family, make sure you screen record that and send that to
I'm definitely sending that to you.
I'm going to be on the market. I'm going to be free. I'm about to be single and outside, because ain't no way I want to be with nobody who wants to be with me because you want some type of an image of like the Black family on the church fan. That's weird. It's very weird. Be with somebody because you actually like them and want to be in a relationship with them. If blackness is at the top of your list for why you want me specifically,
crazy.
Don't want me no more.
That's that. What is the difference between that and when we say, we look at non-black people who only date black people, we go, oh, they just want to fetishize us, right? What's the difference?
There's no difference.
That's the same shit. Oh, I'm only the other shit. Only black. Blackity. I be like, cool, bro. I get it. I'm not denying. Hey, man, I don't be judging nobody for nothing. I don't care who the fuck you date. When I talk about what class or what group they belong, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I only care about the character of the person you date. That's it. I only care about the character of the people you date. What are their politics, right? Black men have historically proven to not care about black women. As a group, we don't give a fuck about black women. We don't. That don't mean that no black man cares about black women, but as a group, we don't care about black women. We don't care about black children. We don't care about black women. We don't care about other black men. We care about ourselves individually. We care about doing what we got to do to get in the door with Mr. Charlie and get our seat at the table and build our empire, whatever the fuck we want to do, right? Just survive. We be just doing that shit for scraps, to be honest with you. We only be doing it to make a bunch of money. Like, at least be Jay-Z if you gonna sell us out. Y'all ain't even Jay-Z. Y'all doing that shit for a goddamn cheese sandwich, nigga, for some chopped cheese and shit. Y'all not even doing the shit for no real work, wealth, right? I don't take, as a group, as much as I love black people and black men specifically, I don't take those discussions seriously coming from any black man. I would look at Malcolm X in the eye and tell that nigga get out my face if he got on that type of shit. I'll be like, all right, nigga, bet, because you can't make it make sense. The amount of black men that are with black women, also the amount of black men that actually abuse black women, what is we talking about? You love them so much, but you can't stop abusing them. You love black women so much, you get online every day to disparage them. Like, as if it's your y'all niggas do it for free. You get online every day to talk cash money shit about black women every day for free. Not even for a fee, for free. So anytime y'all wag y'all finger at a nigga like me, you met the right one. I'm the nigga to do that to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Please. Yes, by all means, do it to me. Because I know one thing's for sure and two things for certain. You've never heard me say anything about black women as a group. You can't look up nothing. You can go look at all my pages and all the time I've been on the internet. You can go look at that shit dating back 12, 15 years. You've never, ever, ever seen me, heard me say anything about black women negatively in my life. Not just in my life. Nobody will corroborate that story for you. Like, yeah, Public said, well, back in the day, he told me white. Never. I've never thought it before. And it's evident because you ain't got, if I did it, it would be out there. You niggas get online and do it in real time while trying to disparage me. You will shit on black women and then say I'm the problem. Y'all niggas do it every single. Zoe just did it right now. You black women are dumb. You're giving him your money in real time while trying to say that I hate black. Like what? Because I'm not fucking them.
Part is they will tell you blatantly to your face, you should go tell your white wife about this conversation. And the context of the conversation is, these black women, all they want to do is wear wigs, weave, and lashes. If your wife was even to ask, who said that part, honey? Oh, it was some black dude on my live. Well, what else did he say? Well, he talked about how black women is dumb for giving me money. Oh, and he talked about how black women is baby mamas. He talked about how black women like to twerk all the time and listen to rap music. Like, it's always this list of stereotypes. And when you're trying to add context to who's saying what, it's not you saying that black women fit into these stereotypes. It's the black men who are claiming to want to be in relationships with black women who are playing into these stereotypes.
Every single time. And I'll be giving. And the fucked up part about it is, and it's my bad, I gotta stop doing it now. I be feeling like I be giving the niggas the free game on, like, bro, that's not, like, they don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, that's obvious. Don't nobody like that shit or whatever. But then they just be like spitting him out, like, what do you know? I'm like, my guy, that's common sense. Like saying that about any group of women in general is crazy. And they really think, I promise you, they really just think black women are dumb and gullible. which they have said out of their own mouths. That I'm starting to think, y'all remember when I played that shit? I'm just starting to think black women are the most gullible group of people, blah, 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 blah. They always say that shit, right? They really think that black women are dumb and gullible because they try to triangulate anybody, black men, doesn't matter. They'll do the same shit with Chad. I guarantee you Chad has seen it before too. All the time. They'll do the same shit with Chad. Oh, you don't even date women. How you did it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna did it? Like, nigga, what does that got to do with any fucking thing I'm talking about right now? Am I right or am I wrong? That's all I want to know. Am I right or am I wrong? Well, you right, but you don't even. It's the same shit. Y'all do the same. Y'all try to whoever you're talking about. You try to take the thing that you think black women are gonna go. Oh, I can't. As if they're fucking actually dumb. If they were actually as dumb as y'all thought they were, they would fall for that shit. But they never do. They never. Not as a group. I'm not saying some don't, some do, but as a group, they never fall for it. They never fall for it. That's the craziest shit. I'm sitting there like, why would y'all keep? That's all you got?
What's an actual testament to character, though, and I say this to men all the time. And honestly, my husband is a lovely dark chocolate delicious man. I ain't gonna go into no more details of that because y'all know I'm gonna get inappropriate. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: the thing that's attractive to me is that he treats women like human beings. Period. It has zero to do with whether or not he has access to them. To me, a testament of character is. You don't get my emotional capacity, you don't get my physical capacity, but you are able to see me as a human being and treat me as such. Those are the men that I can be around. Those are the kinds of men that I can have conversations with, and those are the men that I can consider a friend, because especially, and people try to put that math together, but that's what it is. When you talk about the relationship between women and especially men who are part of the LGBTQ community, it's because of the fact that all you see is humanity. So when you befriend me, when you want to have, when you want to create a familial bond with me, it's on the basis of I like this person as a person. Yeah. Forget all the rest of the stuff that she can. I love my mama because she can cook. I love my mama because she cleaned up after me. That's not the basis of that relationship. Most heterosexual men, honestly, they don't actually love women. They love what women can do for all them. The time. Particularly black women. They love black women because they love a good maid. They love a good cook. They love, Hey, I got it. What do you love about black women? Because they hold us down. That's all. Because they hold me down. When I was broke, she was right there. Because they hold us down. And then they get off the floor and they leave her there.
Yep. Like that triangulation shit, I get that all the time. Like literally, they're like, "Oh, you trying to defend and all they do is they use your sexuality as an insult. Yep. They don't like you. Yep. All they do is they use it to caricature. Yep. Like that shit right there. And I'd be like, okay, listen. Let's say you are correct. Everything you said is correct. So I'm not about to argue with your stupid ass. Yes, you are correct. Now, if everything that you are saying is correct and all they do is use my sexuality as an insult and they don't respect me and all this other stuff like that, even after all of that, I still don't talk bad about them. So what's your excuse?
Wow. Because it ain't about them. It's about you. That's what these niggas don't get. It ain't about nobody. It's about me. It's about what BPG was saying. I just see everybody as human beings. Like that's the goal. I just try to treat everybody like a human being, no matter what group. I try to treat every group of people the same way I want to be treated, right? That's pretty much what a golden rule, whatever, right? It's corny, but it is what it is. It's super easy. Why would I treat another somebody that belongs to another, identifies as another group of people? Why would I treat them any less than I treat black people? Why would I treat a foreign-born person any less than I treat an American? Like, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just treat everybody the same? And then
understand oppression. You truly understand oppression. So you, being that you have a total understanding and grasp of oppression, then you know that someone who is more oppressed than you, having grievances against a demographic in which you belong, those are probably going to be valid 100% grievances. Yep. Definitely worth
exploring,
paying attention to, because at the end of the day, you still wouldn't want to switch places with that person. Like, because you know that you have privilege. So it's like, what's so hard to understand about that? Like, even as a man, that's why I would never talk bad about women, black women specifically, because I know that as a man, no matter what, my life is always going to be easier than hers.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, my life is easier than she has to deal with more shit on a day-to-day basis that I don't even have to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why would I have an issue with her saying that she hates men or the thing, because men have done things to her that they wouldn't do to me.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand oppression. I understand the system. I understand what that's like.
Yep.
But it's like the only form of oppression that they can understand is
the cops.
racism.
The cops beating on them. The cops pulled me over last week. I didn't get that job because that white boy got that. Like, that's all they know. But like, they don't understand how intricate it is. It sucks though, and it's frustrating because y'all know I try really hard not to throw black men under the bus, but I don't feel like telling the truth about. I've never been afraid to tell the truth about black men, but black men are it's terrible. Like, we are really bad, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me so to no end because we are black, and I'm like, the same thing. I can say the same thing about white women. To be honest with you, I can say the same thing about white women. I can make the same argument from black men and white women. It frustrates me to no end that black men don't understand and don't protect black women, right? Being that you understand, you don't got to understand all the oppression, but you understand oppression. You know it exists. You know what I'm saying? So why can't you relate to this other group of people who you know are getting oppressed more than you and are just getting oppressed in general? More or less doesn't matter, but they're getting oppressed, right? Cool. Same thing for white women. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You white and all, but you getting oppressed too. You knocking your head between the washer and dryer too. Like, what the fuck? Why you ain't like, let's come together? What the fuck is we doing? That to no end, it frustrates me. I'm like, that, like, the shit ain't rocket science. You want it to end at some point in time. You're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to link up. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have to come together. But first, black men gotta stop. Black men, it has to start with in our community, not in the world. In our community, it has to start with black men. It can't.
Absolutely does.
Black women are waiting to kill everybody. Everybody else is waiting on cishet black men to get their shit together and stop being a fucking tool of white supremacy and the patriarchy. That's it. It starts with us, and we can do it. We don't need a million man march. We don't need none of that shit. We got it right here. We on TikTok. Y'all motherfuckers on all that time you spend on Instagram and TikTok and X and whatever fuck else you on, and all that stupid shit y'all be looking up on YouTube. Look up some shit where you actually can fucking learn. Listen to some people that's actually gonna give you some education and fucking apply that shit to your life. Stop the shit that we be talking about on a daily. Be the things that you can do on the daily to protect your kids, to protect your family, to protect your community on the daily. This ain't, yes, it's political too, but you ain't got to wait to vote on this shit. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow, you could go to sleep tonight. You could wake up tomorrow and you could show up for your kids. You could actually be present for your kids. You could talk to your kids. You could cook for your kids. You could not abandon them, not neglect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, have conversations with them, not spread propaganda, not spread racist right wing talking points. Like, you can do that shit tomorrow, today, if you want to. That's all it is.
Like, it's not like we haven't done the same work. That's what be killing me.
Yeah.
Like, they will literally argue against other black men
who've been doing the same shit. I've been through the same shit. Like, what?
We're through the same shit, and we have known, and we know how they think because we were taught the same shit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And we know exactly what they about to say, and we know that shit is wrong. And they will still argue against people who were taught the same shit. It's just like, why do you? It's like, how can I put this? It's how do you? What makes you think that you can complain to me about shit not working,
mm-hmm.
and you don't want to change shit? You tell me how fucked up your life is. You tell me how messed up the system is, how you getting treated and all this other stuff. But you think you can be the same, and you ain't got to change nothing about your soul. And everybody's supposed to just treat you better, and your life is going to be different. That's not the way it works. We all have to go through that uncomfortable feeling of learning new shit and coming to the realization that what the fuck we was taught was wrong. Yep. We all have to come to that. But they act like it's a personal fucking attack. Motherfucker, your teachers was wrong. What you was taught was wrong. Ain't nobody even saying that you wrong. Yep. You stupid because you don't even realize I ain't even calling you stupid. I'm saying that the motherfuckers who taught you the shit was wrong. But they don't even want to accept that. They don't even want to accept that your teachers was wrong.
Nah, they like it.
Let me learn some shit different because the motherfuckers who taught me this shit, they was the ones that was stupid. Hey. They don't even want to accept that.
Hey, let me read this real quick, y'all. Hold on. Your favorite irritation said, you're a researcher, but don't speak to certain demographics of women. Facts. Kia Morris said, enough with your disrespect towards us. Go pound brick. Kia Marys. I said Kia Morris. Kia Marys. Reese Collins said, Zoe don't like black women. Black women is just what he has access to. God damn. Intently said, Zoe mad. Even YT women reject him. Zoe super mad. Hey y'all. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I ran over because I like the conversation. I love y'all for real. I might spin the block a little bit later. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. But that was wild. I'm sorry. We went off on the end. I know. It derailed. I might come back with the same prompt. I don't know. But it was fun, though. Hey, shout out to the best minds in the business, man. Shout out to all the old subs and the new subs, all the super chatters, man. I love y'all for real. Thanks for holding me down. Everybody that banged the Cash App, all the gifters, all the people that share, tap the screen, man. I love y'all for real. Thanks to the panel. Everybody that joined. Haters come back tomorrow, man. Or you can come back later on. You can spin a block. Crash out count. My daughter yelled out, Mommy, that's public on YouTube. That's what's up, Allie. We in it. Hold on. I don't even know what that is. We in this thing, man. Yes. All right. I got to go for real. Now I got to really go get my hair cut. I didn't go get it cut the other day because I was late. But now I got to go for real.